I don't think we're gonna be joined by anyone today,
Again?
actually. Yeah, yeah. Unless some people want to filter in later. And as for the episode, I put in that episode idea, and I got the distinct impression that we both wanted to talk about it.
I have not watched that video yet, but I hate everything about it. So I'm not against doing that one because I wanted to do the you're what was it? You're a bad person if you're an introvert or
Oh,
something.
no, no, no. It was you're not an introvert, you're a freak. And that
Oh,
video, that video, much like this one, it's like, okay, there's a point buried deep within somewhere of what you're saying, but you're saying it in like the worst way possible.
perhaps okay. I had wanted to do that one, but this one I feel takes priority because he's gunning for, based on the thumbnail, something that I love, something that I have no qualms with, and something that I hate, but Ellie's a good character.
It's like I know you don't even hate The Last of Us because it's bad. You just hate it because it's overhyped.
Yeah, that's exactly the reason. Like I like the Last of Us one is good. I'm not going to dispute that with anybody. I just don't care about it that much. Um, but Ellie's great. Um, and you can't use The
There's an
Last of Us 2 as an example because she's an adult in that one, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Correct. Or at least like
Okay.
she's like 19 or something in that game.
That's an adult. I mean, fuck it. It's the apocalypse. Everyone's an adult. There's no...
Well, yeah, pretty much. Except for
if you're okay, listen.
except for
If
like
she
Clementine.
bleeds, she breeds. If she bleeds, she breeds. Goes for the apocalypse.
I.
If you're preventing a mass extinction event, I think it's wrong, but you should. But you know, I'm not gonna fault anyone for
Desperate
doing.
times call for desperate measures, but I think
Yeah.
I'm still gonna stay
We're
away
not
from
recording right now, are we?
9-year-olds.
We're not recording right now, are we?
Welcome to Come.
God damn it!
I can come this out. I mean, I can cut this out if you want.
No, it's fine. Leave it in, just like I did. Get air.
Moving on. All right. I'm gonna give you the fucking link, the linky doo.
Yeah,
Where-
you should give me the linky do.
Oh, they
Post
changed.
it in the com call just in case anybody else shows up.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Okay. Well,
Uh,
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Well, fuck you for not knowing.
Really?
I'm not that gay.
There? I'm not like you! What game is this?
I don't know.
I don't recognize this screenshot.
I don't know. Maybe it's like Metal Gear or some shit. I don't know. We'll find
That
out.
doesn't look like Metal Gear to me. That ain't don't look like no Metal Gear I ever played.
Well, I've never played a Metal Gear, so I don't know.
Okay. I'll be your guide.
Yeah, I saw Team 4 Star play through Metal Gear 1 and 2 and Solid, and then I stopped because I was like, okay, this is fun, but I've had my fill for now, and then I just lost where the videos are, so oh well.
Okay.
That and Rising Revengeance. Like beyond that, I just like
That game is awesome.
yeah, I respect the games. I respect them. They're just not my cup of tea. They're not something I want to spend that much time on.
I'm not gonna call you an idiot for um not like vibing with the Metal Gear Solid series because they are strange for one.
Oh no no,
They are difficult to get into.
I like
for
the
two.
strangeness. It's just the ridiculous figure the shit out bitch like kind of nature to it, you know? It's like I
It
love
depends
the
on which one you
ridiculousness.
play.
It's just the figure it out bitch kind of attitude that I don't vibe with.
Yeah, it depends on which one you play. 3 is a pretty good balance of, yeah, figure it out, but we're also going to tell you up front what everything
Yeah,
does.
because Solid was like mostly pretty solid. Like that's a pretty solid game overall. But there's a couple puzzles in there that are like, I am not smart enough to have been able to figure that out. Hold on.
Unplug your
Yeah.
controller. And I'm back. What I miss? Nothing.
I'm in the middle of recording a podcast episode, so can I get you two to put the groceries away? Thank you.
Apparently, he's in the middle of recording a podcast episode. News to me.
I'm back.
I thought this was a support group.
I'm
Hello.
back. What?
I was talking to the audience.
See, this is what happens when you surround yourself with females. Don't do it. Just keep
Nobody
the one
tells you nothing.
Just keep the one you're fucking, and that's it. Because now there's a bunch of frozen goods that are no longer frozen.
Hooray!
Yeah.
That means you can eat them now.
Yes, that's exactly what that means.
All right, let's get on with the vid.
Honestly, right now, I'm really vibing with that song, Allah's Plan.
Oh yes, by Drake.
No, by Go Hang.
Well, because there's a Drake song called God's Plan.
No, I know. No, it's just
Okay.
Allah's Plan is a much better song because
Dude,
it's punk
God's Plan
rock.
is by Drake. Of course, anything is better than that.
Okay, so you'll get a kick out of this. It's a punk song performed with banjos.
Hold on, my dogs are barking.
Oh. This is gonna be a long episode to edit. I can tell. Ah, there you are.
I am here with P.
So as I was saying, it's a punk rock song performed with banjos.
That's fucking awesome.
Right? Yeah. And the lyrics are fucking awesome. Like this dude's just like screaming off the top of his head.
I wish I'd never been born. My birth was a mistake.
Fucking awesome.
I want my ears to get fucked by that.
Right, dude. I'll have to fucking link that shit. Maybe I could like sneak it into the video somewhere. I don't know.
Yes, I agree.
Anyway,
Just do it. Well, you just put it in like over you singing it just now, and it'll fit perfectly.
I hope because the YouTube's copyright system is a bitch.
Like under the audio of you singing it. I mean,
Oh, yeah, that's significantly lamer.
nah, it'll be funny.
No,
I think it'll be funny.
no.
Oh, come.
That's not what I did in the All Quiet video. I replaced your terrible singing with, the actual music.
And I haven't forgiven you yet.
Good. I'm about to make you suffer more, by the way.
Good. I'll be right back.
You did that fucking shit on purpose.
We are joined today by a special guest.
Doggy?
Yeah, he's in here.
Aw, hi, Doggy.
Hood, say hi. Say hi. He's not gonna say hi. He can't talk. It's a dog.
If I ever manage to tame a crow, I'm gonna name him Odin.
Why not Hugin?
Because fuck Hugin.
But that's Odin's crow.
No, that's his raven.
They're the same thing.
Not really. No, crows are smaller. Also,
That is-
the feather patterning is like slightly different, so you'd have to
That
get
is-
like a close look.
Exactly. You gotta get close. They're basically the same thing.
That's racist.
Uh-huh. And?
I keep forgetting.
If I ain't the raven calling the crow black.
Coming from you, I'm surprised you didn't just throw out the N-word right now. Right now, yeah.
Right now. Oh
Yeah.
my god. With now or with the hard R?
Oh
What, are you
no.
Southern?
I gotta stop hanging out with East. He's making me racist. He gave me the hard R.
He's making us all racist.
Racist. That's
We've
stupid.
been eating them racist PCs.
Them racist pieces.
Alright, play on the stupid video.
Imbalance in the integrity and how we depict narratives and characters across
Oh, fuck, that's Metal Gear Solid 5.
I fucking told you!
Okay, but fuck this character though. He's literally like what's one step lower than a plot device?
Worthless?
Yeah. Like this kid is a character from the Metal Gear series cuz 5 is a prequel. So this kid is the child version is the child of is a character from Metal Gear as a kid.
Is that
He is only in the game so that you can go, oh shit! It's the guy who's gonna be an adult one day!
That's not Revolver Ocelot, is it?
No.
Oh, thank God.
Ocelot's on your crew for 5.
Oh, okay, good. Is it the guy that grabs your balls in 2?
No.
No. I'm out of guesses.
That's okay.
I don't eat Metal Gear.
I don't eat Metal Gear.
I have a proper diet. Anyway, what the fuck was this guy saying?
He was saying something about something.
There's an imbalance in the integrity and how we depict narratives and characters across all media, from the novels we consume to the films we digest.
Interesting choice, showing Lolita in a conversation about how child characters don't get any depth or go through enough.
Well, to be fair, it's
fiction?
specifically about video games. Like he does
Yeah, but-
he does compliment film and novels for like how far like the amount of detail you're allowed to show before an audience goes.
There's
What
an
the fuck?
imbalance in the
Stop! Jesus Christ.
You okay over there?
Yes, I'm fine. Fuck.
Fucking-
Anyway, you were saying.
Okay, that was a little weird. I got distracted. What was it? Oh yeah. He does later. I stopped watching it like 5 minutes in because I knew this was perfect podcast material. But
Okay.
he does mention that in books and movies, children, generally speaking, manage to get treated with a lot more maturity, and they end up facing a lot more than what you normally see in video games. Now, to some extent, that is true, but some of the examples that he uses, especially his visuals, are like horrific examples. It's like, well, that kind of proves you wrong, though.
Okay. Have you read Lolita? You probably haven't read Lolita. Have you seen the film?
I was not aware that there was a film until today, and
Okay.
this is gonna sound horrific. I have had plans to read the book because I've heard conflicting things about it, and I like the
Oh,
idea of
yes, you
owning
have.
banned books. I
yeah, that's good. I own multiple banned books.
I like the idea of owning banned books specifically because they're banned, because people don't like the fact that people get to read controversial material. So, you know, because I'm a bit of an edgy boy. I don't know if you can
that.
tell.
It's
but-
weird. It's weird that of the two of us, that's your reason for owning banned books, when mine is literally just about conservation.
True, sure. That's
That's
a good
like you're all like,
reason, too.
I want to be edgy, and I'm over here the edgiest of the group, going, oh, I think it's just important to maintain works of creative art.
And I
from,
think that's fair.
all
I
across
think that's
the
fair.
ages.
Correct me if this is inaccurate, but what I've heard overwhelmingly is that it's told from the perspective of a pedophile, and he like recognizes that his impulses are wrong, but like the story is like him reconciling that or like having to deal with it.
Yeah, not nearly as well told or nuanced as something like American Beauty, which is about the same thing.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, it's more like a comedy, um,
Oh.
where it's if I'm remembering this correctly, he wants to hook up with I think she's 14 or 15, um, and decides that it knows that it's wrong to do so, but still can't deny the impulse. And then he has to basically kidnap her and take her on a road trip to escape the clutches of another pedophile who's targeting her.
Oh, okay.
And Stanley Kubrick directed the film.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know why the idea of like owning that book bugs me. I think it's because it's more like because like I have several volumes of Berserk, and the Lost Children arc kind of like it's not like pedophilic from like Guts's point of view. It's just there are some very abusive people in the Lost Children
Fucked
arc.
up.
Hmm?
Fucked up. It's a fucked up story. Dude.
Yeah, like so like the thing is like I've seen what happens in the Lost Children arc. That probably is worse than anything that happens in American Beauty or Lolita. But I think it's just more
Well,
like
yeah, American Beauty doesn't actually have any pedophilia.
okay, it's just I think Lolita specifically because of the like weight of the term. If anyone sees that on my shelf, I'm gonna have a lot more explaining to do than Berserk.
Yeah, but fuck them.
Sure.
No, not
Yeah.
literally.
Oh wait, no, hold on. We gotta clarify. Who are we fucking here?
The opinions. Fuck the opinion.
Oh, okay. How old is the opinion?
The opinion's been around for a very long time. You're good.
Okay, good.
The opinion is old enough to drink. You're fine.
Good.
The opinion remembers where it was on 9/11. That's the trick. If you're at a bar and a girl's flirting with you, you ask her if she remembers where she was on 9/11. If she doesn't know, she's too young.
There's
Are you okay?
I'm just thinking about the implications of what you just said. And I just like I immediately took it to an extreme. Yeah, it's like 2077 and the only people left are these old grandmas. Hey, you're at the cyberpunk bar. Hey, baby, do you remember where you were on 9/11? Oh yes, I do. I was washing the dishes at home
It's
because I
only-
had been laid off from my job.
Wait. If it's 2077, then this bitch has to be like 98.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's like,
Jeez.
that's why I was saying there's
Okay,
gonna be a day where that
why
lost-
is everybody in the future old in your timeline? Is it children of men? Is there no children anymore?
No. No, it's just there's still plenty of young people. It's just none of them are gonna remember 9/11.
Yeah,
The
well,
only
on a long
people-
enough timeline that becomes moot. But like until like I'd say
Tomorrow.
2025 or 6 is when that would become completely irrelevant.
I was fucking joking when I said tomorrow.
Yeah, it's close. Well, dude, it was 23 years ago.
No, I know.
But he doesn't remember where they were on 9/11. They're still probably over 18 now. That's fucking horrifying to think of.
Yeah.
People have been born post 9/11 and they're old and they're fucking out and driving and drinking and shooting each other.
Dude, I actually saw a post, like one of those like age posts, it's like, Toby Maguire's like 49 and his girlfriend is 20. We should be able to hunt men like this. And I was like, oh,
No,
come
good for
on,
him.
that's not fair. They're both grown-ass adults. And then someone pointed out that Toby Maguire's Spider-Man is older than her, and for some reason that's the part that skeezed me out.
He gets to he gets to take her home at night and show her the collection of classic films that he started.
I can see Toby in like 40 years. Hey baby, you want to see me in Spider-Man when I was spry and young?
It's like, well, he still looks pretty good for.
Oh yeah, for
you know,
49.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed that he was 49. I would have guessed something like 36, 42, something like that.
He can still fit into that fucking suit.
Yeah, which
That's-
is like
I
great.
hate the man.
Yeah, most people do not age that well. Most people age more in their belly than they do in their face.
It's true. It's true. Anyway, we are 2 seconds in.
Characters across all media. From the novels we consume to the films we digest, the freedom of character treatment is bound not just to the author's intent, but the human morality that is the foundation for a distributor's restriction.
Oh yeah, Lord of the Flies. 100% children, 100% depthful and dark. So yeah, a good thing he's only talking about games. Because this story right here completely invalidates the entire
Yeah.
And those limitations grow tighter the more the audience is capable of feeling the depicted events. So, with live action cinema, the sensibilities of younger performers need to be accommodated for, especially in more mature narratives, resulting in a perpetual protective bubble surrounding them that's slowly lessened over time.
I kind of agree with that because in not necessarily like what you can, because like through the movie magic of editing and special effects, you can make it look like a child character is going through whatever the hell you want, right? However, there are still safety measures that need to be taken in films because kids have gotten killed by on-set accidents. Did you ever
I
see-
saw the helicopter.
You saw the helicopter crash in the Twilight Zone?
Dude,
Yeah,
you're the one that sent me the clip.
That's true. I was.
You fucking
was.
psycho.
I am.
Granted, I might have laughed
You
at it
asked
when
me to.
That's true.
You were like, I kind of want to see, like, because like if there was a conversation about it on Twitter, and you're like, I kind of want to see that, and I went, here you go, and you're like, oh fuck, why did I ask for that?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But I think the other question was, why do you have this?
Right.
It makes me feel safe.
Well, I mean, in a fucked up way, it kind of does, because it makes you realize just how, like, likely death is, and like, how unlikely you being alive as long as you have is. And it's like, damn, I've lived a really safe life. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
It's true. It's true.
Allowing for deeper and more weighted narratives. Yet those restrictions grant more.
Just recently, there was this conversation. It should have been lasting longer because of what happens in the book, but in House of the Dragon, a child's head gets sawn off.
Yes, as a matter of fact, it does.
Yeah. So, like, this conversation's definitely still going.
House of the Dragon's book is called Fire and Blood.
I know.
Okay.
I'm talking about the show because I've seen the show. I'm up to date with the show.
Does that scene play out in full detail in the show, or do they kind of shy away from it a little?
They shied away from it a little, but I get the impression that it wasn't because they didn't want to do it. I get the impression that it was a producer
To appease
that
the
stepped
ratings
in.
board.
Probably something like that.
Bloody
Yeah.
suits always coming in going, guys, we can't.
There's
can't
also
do
just
this."
the problem of, like, because apparently in the book, they have blood and cheese, and then they just say, and somehow nobody else was hurt or whatever. You know, but like the show actually, it doesn't do it in the same detail, so it's not nearly as shocking. But they also kind of like address what happened to Blood and Cheese after the fact, because they're walking out with a child's head in a fucking bag, and so it's like, yeah, no shit, they got caught, and one of them got tortured. So yeah, that part makes a little bit more sense, even if they didn't commit to the same detail that the book did. So it's kind of give and take on that field. But
It's also important to note that the excerpt of book that we're looking at is from Lolita, and it's fucked. It gets worse the farther down the page you go.
Okay, then we'll move on. The
Okay.
Discord thing is covering it up, but still.
Sure.
Wiggle room for films in terms of the graphic detail that can be displayed or discussed, while simultaneously limiting the more visual aspects of cinema, where the viewer has very little control over how they perceive a story's events, while alternatively granting the opportunity for viewers to feel more uncomfortable and make the gravitas of the situation more apparent. With children, those lesser restrictions have allowed for their more creative and thoughtful handling, both on an emotional and developmental level, as they explore their transitions into new emotions, dealing with their trauma, and less often forced early maturation. The results have since allowed for some of the most fleshed out and personal character stories that have since ingrained themselves as cinema classics and masterpieces.
Okay, he's not strictly speaking incorrect yet.
Yeah, it's just when he starts using visual examples when he gets to the video game section that's when things start getting a little weird.
Okay, because yeah, I don't really have much to add here.
Yeah, because
just yet.
he's like I said, this guy's got a point. It's just it's buried somewhere beneath the garbage that comes out later. You know, because
Okay.
I do think that maybe we should be willing to more thoroughly explore the depths that a child character can go through, not just in novels, but also in film,
I
animation,
mean,
video games.
it really depends on what films and books and just stories that you're consuming. Because I know that Come and See, probably main character of that story is pretty much a child. Um,
That's true, but do you really think that a movie would ever be made like that in the United States? Like that has to be done in the Soviet
Perhaps not.
Union.
Perhaps not. But like I said, it depends on where you go,
That's
right?
true. That's
Like
true.
you, because Ivan's childhood from Tarkovsky. Fuck. What the fuck was his name? Yeah, Andrei Tarkovsky. Um, yeah. Um, that's a pretty depthful and nuanced exploration of a child character. It Mirror also. Tarkovsky's got a lot of really good child characters at center stage for a lot of his films, but yeah, the U.S. shies away from putting children into stressful or shall we say creepy situations because they don't want us to they don't want to hold a mirror up to themselves.
Which is bizarre because of how often children are used in the horror series, not series, a genre that would probably be best at exploring those topics.
Children are almost exclusively ghosts or some kind of harbinger or herald
Yeah,
of the
the
evil
only two
in a
that
lot of horror.
the only two that I've seen that really, uh, well, actually, I'm not even sure that I could really say that. No, because I was gonna use Hereditary as an example, but it's the teen that goes through all that trauma and stuff.
Yeah, what's her
You
name?
know?
Charlie. She gets fucking
Yeah, she gets
wrecked
fucking decapitated in like the first 20 minutes. It's great.
Immediately. It's fucking awesome.
Dude, did you see, by the way, the actor playing her? She wanted to keep her severed head as a souvenir from the
Oh,
movie.
that's so cool.
They
Did
wouldn't
they let
let her
her?
though. They wouldn't let her.
Damn it!
I know.
Imagine what fucking that's such a good conversation starter. Hey, you want to see my own severed head from this movie I was in?
Oh man. So yeah, there are movies that are willing to explore it, but you could argue that there aren't enough. Would that be fair to say?
I suppose.
Well, actually, no. There is one that comes to mind now that I think about it, but that one was basically just pedo bait, cuties.
Oh, that was pedo bait.
Yeah, because
And we should not talk about. Also, that movie was French.
well, yeah, I know.
You were talking about American films, weren't you?
Predominantly, because that's where most of our, or at least most of my, and presumably most of the audience's
I mean,
film expertise
basically
comes
all
in.
of France is pedo bait, so like, that's not true.
That brings a whole new definition to "haw haw wee wee baguette."
Does it? I don't get it.
I'm not going to explain it.
The consequences of this more focused writing and character and relationship driven narratives is pointing out the cheap commonality and stigmatization of children being exploited narratively in the larger scope of writing and cinema.
So yeah, two perfect examples of children just basically being a device to show you how evil or dire a situation is. Kid getting yoinked by an alien in A Quiet Place, and then Anakin Skywalker just walking into a room full of kids and saying, "How about you?" Yeah, there's very little depth to explore there with any of those characters, and that's at the fault of the writers, specifically our John Krasinski and our George Lucas. But yeah, like that again, like I don't have a disagreement here. It's just the people who wrote these stories specifically are really shit at their job.
Yeah.
You used visually, you used bad examples, but the point is relevant.
Well, to be fair, I think that is what he's like trying to go at, because like he was saying that children are often exploited as nothing more than tools. They're not fleshed out characters, and he gave two really good examples. So like that right there, that's a really good piece of like visual editing to back up what you're saying.
Yeah, sure. A counter that I would use though would be like The Shining, where you've got the two little girls are basically, yeah, they're a device to show you the evil of the hotel and what it's done in the past. But at the same time, like it also is done real like sets up exactly what the stakes are really well, and also you have like Danny, who is an incredibly well developed and nuanced character in that story,
Who's also a child.
who is also a child. Um, he's more developed in the book than he is in the movie.
I had a feeling.
But yeah, well, yeah. King. Well, big shocker. Stephen King is really good at writing characters. Um, go read the fucking Dark Tower. Everybody watching. Jake Chambers is a god. Stephen King is really good at writing child characters. The whole cast is kids for like the first half of the book, and they're great. The body, which later became Stand By Me in film form, yeah. Don't Stephen King. Don't cut to any Stephen King like footage or pages during this video, guy who made this, because any Stephen King story will invalidate your argument. Anyway.
As emotional baggage, plot devices, and crutches for development in regards to the film's protagonist.
Okay, Short Round is not. Okay, maybe he is a little.
You had a bit of a short round there.
Yeah, maybe he's a little. He might be a
Yeah,
little
because like
bit.
I mean, don't get me wrong, he's definitely more fleshed out than like a lot of child characters in movies, but like he's still really simplistic.
He's got no nuance.
Yeah, he's just kind of
He's got.
there. Yeah, actually, yeah, he kind of is a plot device because all he does is save Indiana Jones a couple times.
Yeah.
And well, actually, no, there is the one scene where he calls him out for cheating.
Yeah, you cheat, and then he's got a card up his.
Yeah,
sleeve.
so it's like
It's a great scene.
Yeah, that's probably his best scene in the movie.
Maybe anytime he talks to the girl, I forget her name. You call him Dr. Jones, doll.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he's not
He's-
one-dimensional, but you know, he like there's definitely
There could be more there.
yeah. Not as one-dimensional as just being a plot device, but you know, it could definitely
Again
be
though,
more.
like also we're on World War Z as a visual example now too, and it's like, okay, but this is just a really shit story. Like if you're like if you want to prove a point, use good stories that could improve in this one specific area. World War Z is just crap.
Yeah, like
It's
Indiana
not
Jones.
just his daughter; it's also his wife that have absolutely nothing going on.
Good stories that could be improved. Indiana Jones, right there. There we go. The Phantom
Yeah.
Menace.
The Phantom Menace is a good story.
There's a good story lying
Is
underneath all the
Anakin-
crap.
Is Anakin in the Phantom Menace? Well, yeah, that's the prequel trilogy as a whole, though, and I would say
Yeah.
that the Phantom Menace is probably the least like essential part of that trilogy. Like you could cut down so much of the Phantom Menace and then just
sure.
group it together with Attack of the Clones.
Sure, however, it explores the not the psychology, the philosophy of the Jedi more than Attack of the Clones did. Like,
Ah, yes,
maybe
midichlorians.
this is just me, but Attack of the Clones is just so much more fucking boring than Phantom Menace.
It's the most boring movie ever made relative to its budget.
Yeah, that might, that might be accurate.
Never before and never since has a movie of that much money been so phenomenally unfucking interesting.
Which is bizarre because you would think that a movie about a galactic civil war starting because of like a lack
The
of
last
representation
20 minutes
or
of the
whatever.
fucking thing.
Yeah, you would think that the politics of a galactic civil war and like attempted assassinations would be super fascinating. Motherfucker.
Nope. Hope you want to see Hayden Christensen and Natalie Portman go on fucking vacation, bitch.
Yeah, but they have absolutely no direction and no chemistry.
Zero chemistry whatsoever.
Like, if they just had chemistry, I could forgive the shit, but like, God
Like
damn.
honestly, if I were George, and I like I had to put up with like 3 or 4 days of whatever the fuck their performances were, I'd be like, okay, guys, here's $200 each. Go to a bar, knock back some drinks, get a hotel, fuck, and come back here and start performing.
Well, to be fair, bad acting is a consistent problem with the entirety of the prequels. I do think
Yeah.
that George just gave up as a director when it came to
Ewan
having the
McGregor is
line-
trying his absolute damnedest, though. Like,
yeah, but
he's
like
throwing himself into that, even though like he
And
has
Ian
absolute
McKellen.
shit to work with. Oh yeah, for sure.
but like
Ian
even-
McKellen. Ian McDiarmid.
Oh, thank you. Who's Ian
Is
McKellen?
Ian McKellen is Gandalf.
Oh, yeah. Ian McDermott. Thank you. You're right. Yeah, Ian McKellen. Magneto shows up.
I
in fucking
kind of want to
Star
see if
Wars.
Ian McDermott's done any Shakespeare now because McKellen has done quite a bit. He's really good at it.
Dude, now I want to see fucking Magneto show up in Star Wars. He's just ripping
We got
people's
that. It was called Lord of the Rings.
No. In actual Star Wars, it's
Okay,
straight
yeah,
up
sure.
just Magneto.
Yeah, dude, the droid army doesn't stand a fucking chance.
he just does what Yoda does in that one episode of the Clone Wars where he picks up a super battle droid and turns it around and shoots all the other droids.
Didn't Mace Windu do that? Because there's that Mace Windu episode that doesn't have any dialogue in it, and it's just 12 minutes of him laying fucking waste to an entire army of super battle droids.
I don't recall him. No. I was talking about the Filoni Clone Wars series.
Oh, you're talking about Filoni? I haven't seen that.
It's okay. It's got some pretty good moments, but most of it's just kind of meh.
Yeah,
Especially
when
especially when you consider the greater continuity of Star Wars, and you realize, wow, there is no fucking way most of this happened.
kind of like most of Filoni's contributions to this fucking universe, but
Well, kind of like most of everything prequels, if we're being honest.
basically everything pre New Hope except like I don't know, fucking Andor
Yeah, pretty much.
and Rogue One maybe. So basically
It's like,
what we're
I like
saying
that,
is that
but
Tony
it's
Gilroy
bad.
knows what's up and he's completely unappreciated.
No, he got made fun of for doing research.
Yeah, what the fuck, bro?
We're gonna.
Why
we're
would
gonna-
you make fun of a man for trying to understand the assignment?
Yeah, that's better than every other motherfucker working on Star Wars right now, where they just make
Yeah,
shit
like,
up as
fuck
they go.
off. Like, fuck off. We are
Jesus.
so far off topic right now. The original
Yeah.
point is that World War Z sucks, and you're a lazy asshole for using it as an example of any argument. Moving on.
Magnus, while adding false attachments to said characters for the observer's sake, despite them being underdeveloped.
I don't know what fucking movie this is, but that CG flower is ass.
Yeah.
and unjustified in design and work. So it's a shame that come the portrayal of kids in video games, those that make up our perceived collective of amazing
Okay. You know what? No, I'm gonna let him finish this thought.
characters often fail to meet the likes of Ophelia or Carlos from
Right after showing Ellie.
Yeah, Ellie of all.
Wait,
The
Ophelia
specific
from
scene,
what?
That specific fucking scene of all scenes too. The one where she realizes, okay, Joel is lying to me about, the cure and like the fireflies.
About the fireflies,
Meaning
yeah.
that, and I know who Joel is. He probably killed all of those people. And that assumes that there even was a cure that could be worked out. Like, she's probably realizing all of that, at least, like, she's probably not, like, articulating it in her head, but she's probably realizing that that's probably something along the lines of what happened. Like,
Sure.
that look says it all. She's just like, tell me that everything you told me was the truth. And he very clearly lied, and she just goes, okay. Like, she even looks a little sad kind of accepting it.
Yep.
Like... That is the worst scene to use when talking about poorly fleshed out child characters in gaming.
Yes. Yes. Again, bad visual examples. But all right, let's get the full thought here.
justified in design and work. So it's a shame that come the portrayal of kids in video games, those that make up our perceived collective of amazing characters often fail to meet the likes of Ophelia or Carlos from Del Toro's movies and sacrifice
Okay.
I feel a rant coming on.
Okay.
I feel a rant coming on.
Specifically, he's referencing Pan's Labyrinth with Ophelia and the Devil's Backbone, Carlos. No. I'm sorry, but no. Neither of those characters have the kind of depth that Ellie does. Ophelia is really just kind of a perspective for the audience on what Guillermo del Toro is trying to sell as the point. She is a good character, but it's most of her character is just window dressing. Have you seen Pan's Labyrinth?
I have not actually.
Okay, have you seen The Devil's Backbone?
This is the first I'm hearing of it.
Okay, they're both good.
I assume.
They're both. Yeah, they're both
They're
good.
Del Toro movies. Like, they're statistically good.
Well, that's not necessarily like not always, not
okay,
always.
okay.
But but these two specifically are pretty good.
Okay.
But yeah, but like both of them are a case of like yes, they're decent characters, but they're mostly here to serve as just kind of a POV for the audience into the message, basically, that Del Toro is trying to communicate. Not necessarily a problem for any character, child or adult, but it is, it does rob them a little bit of the kind of depth that I think he's expressing that they are capable of having, especially against a character like Ellie, who is not a POV character. Joel is.
Mm-hmm.
Nor is she a plot device until like the very end when
The very beginning
The
is
ve-
when she's a plot device, and then she starts developing into a whole.
she's kind of bookended by plot device because the very beginning is like, oh, she's the MacGuffin of the story. She's got the invincible can't be infected blood, and then she breaks away from that.
Like,
and then at the very
immediately.
end of the story, yeah, and then at the end of the story, she becomes plot device again when the Fireflies show up. And then at the end of the story, she breaks away from that again.
Yeah,
And then
so
Last of Us
it's
2 is a completely different thing that I think completely forgets about the fucking story of that game because of how much it tries to insist that you didn't see what you thought you saw.
Yeah, the Last of Us 2 is it lies.
It sucks,
Dude. That game lies to you blatantly, and then tells you that everything else surrounding the story was lying to you. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Should I believe my lying eyes?
So yeah, Pan's Labyrinth good, Devil's Backbone good, Ophelia good, Carlos good. Not up to the but no, I'm sorry, I would not count them among the greatest child characters.
I'd like to emphasize to the audience, by the way, this is coming from a guy that hates The Last of Us, and I assume loves those movies.
do very much like them.
So
Um,
yeah, that just goes to show, like, we're trying to be very objective here.
I own the Criterion of both Pan's Labyrinth
Ooh.
and Devil's Backbone. Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Sacrifice their depth at the cost of appeal while simultaneously using their status as children to excuse
Their
plot contrivances. And
Sacrificing their depth while showing Ellie.
Sacrificing their depth while showing Futaba.
By the way, specifically the scene where she's talking about the gay porn magazine that she swiped from Bill.
Yeah. Isn't it beautiful?
You gotta learn how to edit, man.
Give me 1 second. I need to refill my juice.
Yeah.
I'm fucking back.
By the way, I'm realizing that there is, like, a massive amount of potential for this video to discuss, like, why certain very, like, adult-rated video games and movies and shows and stuff are afraid of having children be, like, hurt or like giving them depth when we have children's media that has all of that, like Percy Jackson, for example. You know, children are getting stabbed in the armpit, choked to death, you know, put in, like, you know, kennels to be turned into food, and they're getting, like, like skulls are getting cracked, but none of it's described in gory detail. It's just like these children are actually, like, fighting gods and monsters and are dying, like, horrifically. It's just not described
I'm sorry.
in gory detail.
What are you talking about? Or did you find my basement?
Percy Jackson, the books.
Oh, Percy Jackson. Okay.
Because, like, that's
I have not read them. I've seen the shitty movies.
the books are pretty good from what I remember.
I've heard from a lot of people that the books, like you and like a couple of other people that I consider the opinions on reading material to be trustworthy, have said that they're pretty good.
I wouldn't consider my
So-
opinion on reading material trustworthy. I just
That's
remember...
why I said you and people I consider.
Oh, okay, fair enough. uh,
Finish Dune, motherfucker.
I'm working on it. I'll save that fucking rant that I almost went on for later. Anyway, so, like, you've got like children, like, dying and like you know, there's, like, sexual attraction and all that, but it's all couched in language that, like, children can understand and digest. But, like, when you actually, like, analyze the story, it's a much more mature and in-depth story that a lot of children go through in even, like, R or M rated media. And so it's like you could very easily have a discussion about, you know, why is it that, you know, such and such creators are afraid of doing this when children's media are doing it. You know?
No, I need to see a kid say life is meaningless and then their head fucking explodes. That's depth.
What?
I don't know. I'm just assuming that's what this guy thinks.
I don't
Children aren't nihilist, therefore they don't have depth.
I don't think that's what he's getting at, but we'll see.
I don't
we'll
think
see.
it's. I like to think that that's what the ultimate goal of this is going to be. Children are relegated to being hopeful, to like being hopeful characters or something.
Well, actually, no, it's weird because he, like, describes it as, like, a bubble of protection later. But dude, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Oh
scene.
no, I saw the screenshot.
We'll get to
Anyway.
that. It's so
likes
fucking
of
funny.
Ophelia or Carlos from Del Toro's movies and sacrifice their depth at the cost of appeal while simultaneously using their status as children to excuse plot contrivances and the lack of their contribution.
What plot contrivances do you think he's talking about specifically there?
I don't know. The only one that I could think of for Ellie is that she's immune, but
Is it really a because it never really gets explained why that is the way it is.
I mean, in the show they try to explain it.
In the show, but I'm like the game though.
Yeah, in the game, yeah, yes, I would say that it's a contrivance, but it's also just a thing that can happen. Like, things mutate over years of existing.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's like this was always a possibility, and perhaps it was already a possibility, and it's just the people that got infected and were immune or capable of being immune were um uh they just got killed, or maybe like it's not a matter of the person being immune, but it's the way that the cordyceps grew, and it's just like sexually defunct, like it's a eunuch for a mushroom basically, and it's like, oh, that's just what's happening. So it's not attacking the brain, it's just got like a growth problem. So maybe we can use that and like create an antibody or whatever.
Um,
So like that's like a statistical inevitability. It like considering how many people get infected and or die, it is very unlikely, but it is a statistical inevitability, and it has been 20 or so years. So I don't know. I'm still okay calling it a contrivance, but it's one that makes sense. You know, it's certainly not a plot hole.
okay. Well, I mean, yeah, there's a difference between a plot hole and a contrivance.
Yeah.
So. Um,
But like the thing is, it could have happened to anyone. I don't think it was contrived because it was Ellie. I think it was contrived because they wanted a story to happen. You know?
yeah. Now, I'm interested to know what he would, because it is important to note, and I'm gonna be talking about something that you have absolutely no
That's
concept
fine.
of.
Some people in the audience will.
Some people in the audience will, because we're gonna talk about Persona. He specifically cut to Futaba when talking about how children are basically there to what was his wording exactly? Hold on.
From Del Toro's movies and sacrifice their depth at the cost of appeal while simultaneously using their status as children to excuse plot contrivance.
Okay, using their status as children to excuse plot
While
contrivances.
while also sacrificing their depth for appeal.
Yes, so spoilers for a 9-year-old game.
Oh no.
Almost 9.5 now. Oh my god, Persona 5 came out so long ago. Uh, um, was it 2015?
Something like that. I remember being in high school when it came out, so
2016. Okay, so spoilers for an 8-year-old game. The character of Futaba, I don't remember her full name, but Futaba from Persona 5, her mother is killed in a car accident prior to the events of the story. Futaba Sakura. And
oh, that's so contrived. No.
yes, well, and as a result, because she's just a child when it happens, she goes into a near catatonic state, never comes out of her room, spends all of her time online, has no relationships outside of like just parasocial internet shit. Um, um,
You
And,
describing yourself there, buddy, or
no, I was talking to the audience.
oh,
Um, um, you're my buddy. And through trying to communicate with her and free her from her present state of mind and get her to come out of her shell, as it were, you eventually find out that her mother was killed by the main antagonist of the game, who is also somebody who sent you to jail at the start of the story. So, yeah, kind of contrived that these characters have that much in common with this one antagonist, who is, by the way, a fucking senator. I think Shido is. So yeah, massively contrived. I would say. That you have an antagonist that sends you to jail at the start of the game, and then like a year and a half later, come to find this little girl whose mother was killed in a car accident by the same guy, and that guy is also like going for running for political office and all this. Like it is a pretty strange set of coincidences, shall we say.
sure.
However, this is the only time that it ever happens. The rest of Persona's cast, at least as far as 4, 3, 2, and 1 are concerned, this type of shit never happens because none of the other games have a plot that like grand scale, you might say. Where that kind of contrivance would need to occur to get everybody on board and in the same team. Like Persona 4, it's a small town. There's a series of murders in the small town. Let's get a bunch of like kids that we already know who go to the same class together to try and solve the murders in the small town. No need for contrivances are not necessary to get all of these characters together. Same with Persona 3. It's a single condensed area. All these people already kind of know each other. It's not a stretch of the imagination that like the team would get built from that. 5 is the only one that does something that's this much of a stretch of the imagination to assume that it would happen to get the plot rolling. So while it is a contrivance, and it is like a kind of a problem in the story that it just works that way, it's not because Futaba's a kid, and it doesn't happen to any other character in this franchise.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I also don't think that sacrifices depth, because I would say that actually
And
is
it
a
doesn't
massive...
sacrifice depth at all because Futaba's a great character. She's one of your party members. You spend like 6 to 8 hours just doing missions with her.
Well, I was gonna say, like, that sounds like a fantastic opportunity for character depth. It's like, oh, look at these two, they have so much in common and all that. Like,
plenty. And she has plenty. Go play Persona. Go play all of them. You can get most of them on Steam now. Except the first 2.
hold on,
I don't know.
I gotta fucking plug my computer in, the battery's getting a little low.
Yep, you should do that. Okay, cool. So I think we can continue on the video.
Contrivances and the lack of their contribution to the key narrative.
Okay, already. Cutting to Sunny while talking about a lack of contribution to the key narrative of Metal Gear Solid 4. I have only one thing to say about that. You are absolutely right. Fuck Sunny. She sucks. It does absolutely nothing in the story of this game, and we keep cutting to her over and over and over and over again, like she's so important, and she is there specifically to point out a pattern in a line of code that Otacon has been missing or misreading for the entire game, and they go, "Oh shit, that's what it actually was," and then you can go to the place where you do the thing. That is Sunny's complete contribution to the story. The rest of the fucking game, she's just making eggs and like singing and shit. Fuck off. I hate you, Sunny. You're annoying, and then you're dumb.
I just know her from Metal Gear Rising. I just remember her showing up and being like, "Who the fuck
She's
is this?"
Much better in Metal Gear Rising, but yeah,
Even
only
though
if
she has
you
like
know
2
her from
minutes of screen
MGS4.
time.
Yes.
Wow, it must be really bad execution in, what was it, 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, dude, almost every single thing about MGS4 is badly executed. It's the to go with an earlier example, much like World War Z, MGS4 just sucks, and it's a bad example for any kind of argument that you can make. It's not because Kojima's not able to add depth to a child character. It's just because he wrote a shit game that's bad in almost every single aspect. Except the shooting. The shooting's pretty good. But you don't do enough of it! You walk 7 fucking steps before a cutscene that's 18 minutes long activates. Fuck off!
You good?
Games
That's what's happening in my brain right now.
That's East fucking up Metal Gear Solid 4.
He's with a copy of MGS4 and a katana, just...
Just juggling that shit.
are always interactive experiences, but as a visual medium,
What the fuck? I didn't know that.
Well, they're not always interactive. There's a couple that are just, you press a button and you win.
That's interactive.
Well,
mean,
yeah,
visual
but
novels
that's
are
like
interactive,
saying
like-
hit play on the DVD menu is interactive.
Well, no, but like,
Like, don't get me wrong,
Tell me,
even-
tell me a video. No. Because like even a visual novel is still interactive because you have to make choices that will affect both the outcome and chapters themselves. Like even if it's just one button, it's still an interactive experience that is guided by your decision.
Yes, but what I mean is that there are games out there where all you have to do is basically like hold forward and you'll get through the
What
entire
games?
game because it's a walking. A couple of those. Oh fuck, what was it called? One of those.
Tell me a walking simulator that you only walk forward and that's it.
I'm blanking on it. Maybe. Well, maybe. Yeah, I'm definitely blanking on the name, but maybe. Maybe my memory is just doing me a disservice again.
Because even in walking simulators, like there's still like yeah, like
Yeah, 'cause
even,
in most
if
of them you
a
have to
walking simulator
interact.
that doesn't have any story, like you still can like choose which direction you're moving in and what you want to go look at. Like it's still a game that like you're actively
Oh,
like making
sorry.
moves.
Now, I was thinking of a different game, but there's granted maybe there's also like some sort of interactive mechanic here, but there's this one game that's basically just a panic attack simulator. Your job is to literally just walk around and wait for a panic attack to happen, and it's supposed to be like a PSA or whatever for like what it's like.
That's still a game. But if you want to play a really good game that basically acts like a panic attack simulator, everybody go play Celeste. Have you experienced this game, Trisket?
No.
Okay, Celeste is fucking great. It's a side-scrolling Metroidvania type.
Mm-hmm.
No attacks though. Like you don't have any weapons or anything. You
Ooh.
can just walk and jump, and sometimes you can double jump. And your objective is to climb a mountain. And the mountain is a metaphor for anxiety. And there's a lot of like sequences where you have to like the character will start freaking out and like the visuals will turn to like a feather that's drifting downwards and you have to like press buttons at various times to like make a gust of wind come up that keeps the feather floating at a certain like level as a representation of keeping your mind stable basically while you're having a panic attack. It's a really cool game and everyone should play it. It's great. I love it.
I was gonna make a joke and say, well, if you want a game that simulates a panic attack, just like play fucking Sekiro or something, you know? Just play something that's
fight
really
the Serpent
hard.
King in Elden Ring. Actually, that's anger management, is what that is.
True. Because then you calm down and you become all focused and you're just a fucking god.
Oh yeah,
FromSoft games are great. Like I don't.
I love them.
Yeah, I don't fully understand why Theo was upset.
No, we don't need an easy mode. Fuck off.
No. That's not what I was talking about.
I don't know who
Theo
is.
in from EFAP in one of the latest ones, he was talking about how Elden Ring is Dark Souls turned to 11, and the DLC is Elden Ring turned up to 12, and how he hates how fundamentally different that design philosophy is from Dark Souls 1, because it's less about like actually understanding the patterns of the animations and more about understanding the timings of the buttons that you press. You can almost get away with not even looking at the screen because your eyes just glaze over. And every single boss
I don't know if
has,
I agree entirely,
yeah,
but
every single boss has gratuitous anime moves, and some of the moves are hard to read.
that
because of
I
all
agree
the,
with.
Yeah, some of the moves are hard to read because it's the same like dodge mechanic as the others, but like they elevated the animation, or there are certain moves that are literally undodgeable, which is just unfair. Which, yes, I agree. There are others where there's too many cloth or particle or wind effects to even understand what the fuck's happening. And so it's like, okay, I see where you're coming from. I don't think it's fair enough to call that the worst gaming experience that you've ever had as a result.
Oh yeah, no, that like have you played Devil May Cry 2?
Uh, No, but I played Assassin's Creed Syndicate and Odyssey.
You
and
can
Valhalla.
beat Devil May Cry 2 by holding down one button and walking forward.
That's more of a walking simulator than the game I was thinking of.
It's more of a walking simulator than any walking simulator that ever walking simulated.
That's pretty
It's
bad.
less interactive than fucking Journey.
Whoa.
I love Journey. Journey's great. I'm not dumping on Journey. Anyway.
Like cinema, they follow similar logic in their framing when outside the player's control, allowing for manipulation in the extent to which
I mean, depending on what game. Like, I know plenty of games that don't, but... I guess that's not really worth commenting on.
we feel on-screen events by juxtaposing cinema and interactions to make players liable for how narratives and gameplay unfold for a more personal experience. By doing so, you're effectively able to manipulate player perception of stories to both make them more ignorant to the faults in writing, while adding immense weight to moments of conflict and struggle that
Oh, trust me, I was not ignorant to any of the faults in Detroit Becomes Human's writing.
Well, sure, but like in a general sense, there are plenty of times where I'm playing a video game and I'm thinking, yeah, that was pretty good, and then like I actually listen to like a dissection of the plot, and it's like, oh, yeah, I guess the story wasn't all that good, because it's like I remember enough that I can, you know, like notice whether or not their assessments of the story are accurate, and it's like, oh yeah, that is a good point. I guess the story wasn't that good. Like Ghost of Tsushima, fucking love that game. Story is a little bit of a mess after a certain point, and I didn't notice because like I'm too busy like, you know, interacting with the game and the world rather than like even though I'm paying attention to the story, I'm not like able to like analyze it because I've got my mind on all these other things.
Yeah.
So it's
Alright,
like that's I think that is fair, but let's bring it back just to hear the complete thought.
personal experience. By doing so, you're effectively able to manipulate player perception of stories to both make them more ignorant to the faults in writing, while adding immense weight to moments of conflict and struggle that can make even the simplest writing feel like the most grandeur of moments simply due to having player control.
Sure, yeah, I would say
I
that's
don't
fair.
disagree. I don't disagree. Because like, I mean, in a good example, in terms of his visualization, there is like, yeah, Kirby games have so little story. They don't have any. There is story. There is lore. You can certainly like delve into and explore the rich intricacies of Kirby's world and all that. But the plots themselves don't have a whole lot of depth. The meaningful moments of those stories come simply from you feel good doing the thing.
Yeah.
That's not an inaccurate thing to say, and it's one of the things that makes games so entertaining is the sense of reward that you did something that made all of the really pretty lights shine.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, that's why video games are fucking great. That's why I struggle to focus on, like, writing or reading instead of video games. Because video games are constantly rewarding my fucking ADD-addled brain. Like, every second,
That's not
every
necessarily
input.
a good thing.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, there it is. There's reality. Video games are just more rewarding to the brain than other mediums.
Yeah.
Some games, such as Ico and Metal Gear Solid 3, use this
I love this scene! Metal Gear Solid 3, I know I just dunked on, like, Metal Gear Solid 4 a couple minutes ago, but 3, excellent. Fucking excellent. I own more copies of this fucking game than anything else that I own multiple copies of. It is fucking perfect, and everyone should play it.
Alrighty.
Moving on. Moving on.
blending of elements is the foundation of their design to offer deeper experiences. Yet as time's progressed, there's been a noticeable increase in cinematic games presentation, and the stories they've tried to provide did so under the guise of maturity, while coming off more as a teen's novel. But those philosophies with Telltale
Any commentary on that?
I would say, kinda, yeah. Video games are definitely leaning more towards the cinematic aspects, and I do think that there is like a sort of insecurity that a lot of game developers have, especially like in the West, especially at Sony, Jesus, where they want to present it in a much more cinematic way because they're afraid of the video game being just a video game. Now, to be fair, there are games where that works. God of War, Ghost of Tsushima, Spider-Man, of all things. Because, like, Peter Parker's supposed to be, like, a developed character. There's supposed to be, like, a struggle and everything. Ghost of Tsushima was inspired by Samurai Media. May as well lean into that. God of War, you're basically taking everything that the games were and taking the idea of, well, the audience has grown and we can't just keep making the same thing over and over and over again. I mean, we can, but where's the fun and intrigue in that? So it's like with those, it makes sense. But there are others where it's like Horizon Zero Dawn. Like I like that game. It's really pretty, but I never finished it because it doesn't have much going for it outside of the aesthetics. Really, I couldn't be fucked to care about the story.
Yeah. I can agree to that. I would say that I think that the effort to make games feel more cinematic is making games a lot less fun.
Yeah,
For me anyway. Like my favorite games are still the ones that I go back and play from like my childhood. I still love Chrono Trigger more than most other things. I still love Persona 4 more than most other things. Silent Hill 2 is a great example of a game that nails feeling cinematic but still like a game. You like because like its cutscenes are very well like shot and framed, but then when you get to the game, it's game you're just walking around in creepy locations shooting monsters. I grew up on Metroidvanias and Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't want to play a movie.
yeah, and not that there's anything wrong with playing a movie. Like I said, like some of the games that I mentioned earlier are great, and Red Dead Redemption 2 is fucking fantastic. But
Oh, that's like what I
it's
said.
not,
Like fun
it's-
is subjective. Like honestly,
That's
like,
true, but it's not the. Whenever I go back to Red Dead 2, it's not the story that I go back to. It's just the world that I can dick around in. I don't go back to Battlefield to replay the amazing story. Well, not that the stories themselves are amazing; they look amazing. I go back to Battlefield 1 to shoot people in a World War I-esque setting. I go back to Minecraft, like that's nowhere near my favorite game, but it's the game I go back to the most because of just how interactable the game is.
yeah.
You know, so like, I think you're right that the focus on cinematography rather than gaming has kind of ruined gaming a little bit. And hell, when you were talking, the first example that went to my mind, Battlefront 2, the dice one.
Oh,
Because they tried to make that a Star Wars movie where you play some segments, but it's like no. Make it a Star
just give
Wars.
me a shooter that sounds like a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, exactly. Like, unironically, the original Battlefront 2 felt more like a Star Wars movie than the new one did. Because the new one, like, it has all these eras, like, mixing together on the same maps. There's no era blockage that you can just focus on, like there was in the original. So, like, you could have Rey Skywalker fighting against Darth Maul. It's fucking stupid.
I'm sorry, Ray who?
Rey nobody, whatever. You know what I fucking mean.
Okay.
You can have
Palpatine,
Rey
by the way.
fighting Maul on the same map, a map that neither of them ever have seen in their lives. And it's like, okay, well, this is kind of like, sure, I get the appeal, but like this is kind of dumb. I don't feel immersed. Like even though it has like the best shooting in the franchise, it's just not immersive. Because of all the disparate
Yes.
pieces that are being slammed together, and then like in the story mode,
Well, because they're trying to focus your attention instead of your attention simply being focused. They're trying, like, the developers are trying to give you what they want you to be seeing and experiencing instead of you just playing the game and seeing shit for yourself.
yeah, exactly. Because it's like
The most fun parts of Skyrim and Dark Souls and any game where you are basically just dropped into the environment and told go is happening across something that you're not sure if whether or not anyone else has seen before.
Well, yeah, like one of my favorite memories of Red Dead 2 was finding the giant snake in just a few miles out of Saint Denis. Because I have a
Yeah,
video about that on my channel because I was like, whoa, what is that? You know?
it's the idea of just wandering around, just exploring the environment, and then happening across something that catches your attention and leads to something cool. Nier Automata does this shit all over the place.
Yeah, that's why Elden Ring was so fun for so many people. I don't know that that's the direction FromSoft should go in from now on. I would hope they don't do that, but you know, that's why Elden Ring was so special upon first playing.
I call it Uncharted syndrome. Because, like, Uncharted came out, it was great. Uncharted 2 came out, it was great. Uncharted 3 came out, it was great. Not quite as great as 2, but it was great.
Yeah.
But then every game company went, oh, we need to basically have all of our games feel like this constantly moving, running story that, like, is high octane and bombastic and epic. And it's like, you lose a lot of what makes games special. Like, Uncharted isn't, like, what made Uncharted special was that it was one of a kind. It was like, oh, this is cool. It's a novelty. It's like it's like a movie, but it's a game. And now that every game does that, it doesn't
yeah,
feel
pretty
special.
much. But it took like a lot of those arcadey first-person shooters, you know, like Time Crisis or whatever. It took
the
that
rail shooters?
idea and what?
Rail shooters.
Yeah, it kind of took those like aesthetics and like those like settings and ideas and put it into a third-person shooter and gave you a cinematic experience. And it was like even today, it's one of a kind, really.
Yeah, and like rail shooters came about because like you had limited hardware and software in an arcade cabinet for movement, so the movement has to happen automatically because there's just not enough time, equipment, or resources to program a full 3D movement with a controller that is just a gun.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, imagine how much fucking time would take. The goddamn Wii could barely get that shit going. Like, I'm not expecting an arcade cabinet from the 1990s to be able to pull off something that we can barely do with motion controls today. Rail shooters were like rail shooters out of necessity, not necessarily an artistic choice.
No, I know, but like I'm just talking like specifically, like stylistically, you know, because a lot of those rail shooters have a very specific.
There's a charm to them now because of nostalgia. Like, you'll see
Yeah.
an indie developer will make a rail shooter nowadays because they want to recreate the feeling of being in the arcade and playing Time Crisis or Silent Scope or what have you. But like, that's all that's all it's really good for. Is like, oh, because I get to play the game in the arcade without spending a quarter every time I want to play it.
Mm-hmm.
That's neat.
Yeah, so it's like Uncharted just does it in a way that's special, you know.
It does. I'm not dunking on Uncharted. Uncharted's fucking awesome.
You know what I think it is? You know what I think
It
it is?
set a bad precedent.
I don't think it's Uncharted's fault. I think it's actually The Last of Us's fault.
Yeah, but they were both made by the same company.
No, I know, but like here's the thing. They had The Last of Us, and it's like, oh, well, here's this good cinematic story, you know, which I guess you could lay at the feet of Uncharted, but they had this like relatively good cinematic story that basically took Uncharted's formula and grounded it a bit more, made it a bit more mature, and they took that, and the gaming industry as a whole looked at that and was like, holy fucking shit, the rest of us need to do that. They're not trying to imitate Uncharted, they're trying to imitate The Last of Us.
When did The Last of Us come out? Was it 2013? Yeah, it was 2013.
Yeah, 2013,
Yeah,
2014.
you're probably right. Yeah, you're probably right. Well, yeah, because especially since like a lot of these games that are doing that style are trying to go for The Last of Us mood as well, which is also not fun for a game.
Yeah, that's like, hey, I like that game.
It's what it comes back to. It's what it comes back to. It's like, yeah, this is neat. I'm not having any fun.
Well, I still have a blast with The Last of Us, but I don't want every game to be The Last of Us, you know?
Yeah. Again, it's not a bad game. I just don't enjoy it that much.
Yeah, which is fine, because fun is subjective. You know, we all have fun in our own ways.
Yes.
While coming off more as a teens novel. But those philosophies came to a head with Telltale's The Walking Dead, but more importantly, The Last of Us.
Are we gonna just brush past The Walking Dead because it doesn't fit into your narrative? Because Clementine is a fucking awesome character who goes through a lot of shit and has an incredible amount of depth and is in no way a plot device at all?
Well, the thing is, like, he actually does mention it, which is
Okay.
weird.
Okay.
But the thing
I mean,
is,
he did just mention it, but
the thing
then he
is-
immediately went to The Last of Us.
yeah. No, it's just I don't know. Yeah.
where children were put at the forefront of the narrative. It's kind of impossible to talk about modern video game storytelling without mentioning these titles given their praise and the trends they set up for the following years.
Would you say that's fair?
I don't think it's unfair.
Yeah, because The Walking Dead definitely deserves its praise for like the handling of its child characters and like at least the first season.
Season 1 specifically.
Yeah, because the other seasons.
I rewatched The Walking Dead recently, and oh my god, season 1 is fucking great. That's it.
Wait. The games or the?
Oh, I'm talking about the show.
Oh, I was talking about the games.
Well, the games too.
Yeah,
But-
because the games kind of suffer from a lot of the same problems that the show has. It's just the difference is the show was reliant on shock factor to keep an audience going.
for a
Like,
lot
on
of it, yeah.
television. Meanwhile, the
again, not-
games
again,
they
not
had
the
they
season
had a
one.
loyal, faithful audience because of how good the first season was, and each game had something new to offer. Even
Let us be correct about it for how good the first season was, and how good everyone thought seasons 2 and 3 were.
well, yeah, because like in retrospect, those two are not good seasons. Season 4, I enjoyed.
4 is fine. I don't have
Yeah,
I
it's okay.
have far fewer problems with it than I do with 2.
Yeah, because two
and then
two
it
basically
just
said,
dips
"Fuck
again."
you, your choices don't matter."
And then it just dips again and doesn't come back.
Yeah. And then season 3 comes around and it's like, who the fuck are these people? Yeah, anyway.
Both narratively and mechanically. Nevertheless, despite their generic zombie stories and characters, this so-called game design revolution
I'm not sure I would call The Last of Us a generic zombie story, but well, maybe like narratively, sure. But at least regarding the zombies, but like lore-wise, no, like nobody else has done Cordyceps.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see like what he means by that, because he just kind of says it and brushes past it.
came about by chance timing. Back in the 70s and 80s, the first true generation of individuals entrapped in gaming culture from youth would find themselves the core demographic for developers in the 90s and turn of the century. So to pander to them, developers slowly began to focus on increasingly mature titles as that generation grew up. While that
People who were like 16 or whatever, like 8 to 16 in like the 70s and 80s, like in the 2010s they're gonna be in like their 30s and 40s. Like,
Yeah.
some
Also, that's
even in their 50s.
that's bullshit. Games didn't start getting more mature and dark because the people who were playing them were growing up. They started getting more mature and complex because the technology was developing more that allowed you to be more creative with your stories.
Well, furthermore, games had been around long enough that people outside of gamers were starting to actually like acknowledge and respect games as a medium.
yeah, you could even say that you want to create a game with a more complex set of themes or story to capture people who may not be into games.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not specifically because, oh, this person was a kid, but next year they'll be a little bit older kid and they're going to want to play something edgier.
Yeah, you don't do that to video games as a whole over the course of...
You do that to a series.
Yeah.
Like the Harry Potter books get darker as you go because the audience was growing up. And
You
but
do
like,
that-
it's not because the audience was growing up, it's because the cast was growing up. The characters in the story were growing up. Therefore, the story itself is going to get a little bit more complex and dark because as children become adults, they deal with more adult things. Also, Harry Potter sucks dick. I don't know why I'm using it as an example, but it is an example.
Well, it's kind of the go-to example for a story getting darker as it matures because it's just so popular.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know, I would point to something like Teen Titans, but that kind of had the opposite effect, and it sucked
No,
as a
Teen
result.
Titans did the opposite. Like Teen Titans
That
starts
was-
out like
that was bad.
kind of interesting and mature. And
Dude.
season 2 is really good.
I-
And then season 3 like is just this weird lighthearted kids show. And then season 4 has really dark themes. And then the 5 is just a kids show again. It's like it.
And
It's
and
not-
then Teen Titans Go happened. Dude,
Fuck that show.
Teen Titans Go was so bad that even they admitted, yeah, this isn't the original. We know it. We know the original was better. There's a whole episode dedicated to them watching the original and being like, "Oh yeah, that is better."
The original's really good.
Right?
Like even when it's just a goofy kids show, like it's still pretty good.
Yeah. I miss that show. We're never getting it back.
I miss shows like that.
Right?
Bring back cool cartoons. Bring back fucking Danny Phantom or something like Danny Phantom. Bring back Avatar: The Last Air. No, don't bring back. Avatar,
I was
The
gonna
Last
say they're
Airbender.
making
Last time
they're
that
making
happened, we got
another
Korra.
series. It's a sequel
Fuck
to Korra.
them. Fuck that. Is it at least gonna be a new Avatar?
Yeah,
Okay, well maybe we'll get somebody better then.
yeah. It's some earthbending dude. I doubt it's gonna be better.
Hey,
than
that's
Korra.
cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like Earthbenders.
Yeah, that's as cool as it's gonna get, isn't it?
Let's hope not.
Yeah, because I've seen the promo art for it. Like, he looks.
Oh, there's
cool.
already like art for it.
Yeah, he's got like metal bracers and stuff. So
I'm gonna. Well, I can't Google Avatar 3 because that just gives me the James Cameron movie.
Last Airbender, or like sequel to Korra or something.
I'm gonna just Avatar new series. Maybe I shouldn't have written Last Airbender because that just gives me the Netflix show, which is
Oh.
Dog Water. I've got a Reddit post. Why are we dwelling on this?
I don't know,
It's gonna be shit. Why do I even care?
dude. I hope it's good, but I doubt it.
I
know,
don't think
maybe-
it's gonna
Maybe it'll be like when I went into House of the Dragon. It's like, I remember what happened last time. This is gonna be shit, and then the first couple episodes come out, and it's like, okay, this might actually be really good.
I just want good animation to come back in children's media.
yeah. I just
Doesn't-
want good
that doesn't
animation.
look like somebody drew it while they were real fucking high.
More Ed, Ed, and Eddie, please. Well, not in
More-
this climate, but still.
Oh god, no. Ed, and Eddie wouldn't survive in this climate.
Ed, Ed, and Eddie, but woke.
Oh no.
Woke, and wokey.
Ed, and Nadine.
Double D is trans.
Oh no, the double D's are fake.
That generation
Spe-
would manage to bring
Speaking of, Netflix Sandman announced the casting for the character of Wanda, who is trans in the comics, and she's being played by a trans actress.
Oh, okay.
And Wanda in the comic is a fiery redhead. So guess what the fuck is playing her in
Did
the
they-
Netflix show?
Did they do the dyslexic Hollywood
They did it.
producer meet?
They
yeah.
fucking did it. Yeah. Fuck.
Why?
Fuck this shit.
Why?
I can't even get a ginger tranny. What the fuck, guys?
I was shocked they like when I was actually surprised to find out that Adam Eve was ginger in the comics as well as the cartoon,
Oh yeah.
because it's like, oh, I'm surprised they race swapped the blonde instead of the ginger this time.
Yeah, that's the one that they kept. Holy shit.
Yeah, and then
I got confused for a second. I had to autocorrect something in my brain because I heard you, for whatever reason, I heard you say Adam Eve was transgender in the comics, and I was like, wait, she fucking wasn't? What are you talking about?
No, but did you see her solo episode?
I did. I wasn't. It was fine.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it.
I think she
Prominence
displays a level of power in that she doesn't appear to have in the series proper.
Yeah,
a little
which
bit,
is
but
a little weird, but
it's just a little weird. Anyway,
yeah, it's the best. That episode's gonna have the best fight in the series, isn't it?
yeah, probably.
in the 90s and turn of the century. So to pander to them, developers slowly began to focus on increasingly mature titles as that generation grew up. While that generation would manage to bring prominence to the industry, they'd be doing so at a time where they came to make up the majority of the gaming press, and as a result would gain control over the narrative in games media at a time when they'd be well past their 20s and having children. The inevitable
Most of these people don't have children, let's be fucking real.
Well, I mean, a lot of them do, but yeah, like, it's, I don't know, I mean, yeah, it'll probably be more clear as we go, but I'm not sure why you would attack the argument of children don't have enough depth in video games with, here's the business side of it. It's like, okay, well, I don't know if that's entirely relevant.
It leads into what he's saying next, but what he says next is fucking bizarre.
Okay, let's hear it.
Consequence is the so-called parenting or daddy simulator having a greater sense of relatability to consumers based on its prospect of interacting with children as they grow to fend for themselves more readily, and as they in turn soften up to the protagonist and vice versa, doubling up on their appeal with their fantasized worlds, possibly even
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I meant about bizarre.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute.
Huh?
Yes, I like Clementine because I want to be her daddy.
I'm not a parent, but I could relate to Kratos' struggle, because it's like having to deal with someone that's young and petulant, because I'm an older brother, you know?
Well, yeah, I'm an older brother too. I'm an older brother to many people. But like,
and even if that wasn't the case, like, surely you've dealt with children, or just even adults who are, who act like children.
His choice of words is awfully predatory. We want these kids to soften up to the protagonist. What the fuck?
Well, why are they... Well, actually, I think he misspoke. Like, I think he meant that the protagonist softens to the child. Because, usually the protagonist
Let's go back and listen to that, because I gotta make sure that I heard that
with
right.
children as they grow to fend for themselves more readily, and as they in turn soften up to the protagonist and
Soften up to the protagonist.
Well, no, I know. I think he misspoke. I think he meant to say that the protagonist softens up to them.
I mean, in turn, maybe.
Yeah, because like a child.
I don't know, but I feel like that's something that you want to make sure you say, right? Yeah, child's soft enough. You can go and spike them on the pavement and not even worry.
Like, this is just really bizarre. Bizarre way to put it.
The younger they get, the less splashback there is. But what's important to note is, that's just a strange way of saying
the
that.
only one who softened up to the protagonist is Ellie, but that's because she's been like on her own for a while, and Joel is an asshole towards her, and they soften up towards each other.
I was gonna say something about Atreus hardening up to Kratos, but that would have been too Greek.
Well, but here's the thing, like, Atreus hardens to Kratos because of the journey, and then he softens back up when he realizes, like, what a shit he's been, and, how much Kratos has been, like, trying to sacrifice for him, and it's like, just that barrier of miscommunication is broken down, and all the hardness goes away.
Yeah. I need to go back to the daddy simulator frame, because it makes me laugh in ways that because I'm masking how uncomfortable I am. like holy shit, dude. It's just odd that you would say this.
Later, having a greater sense of relatability to consumers based on its prospect of interacting with children as they grow to fend for themselves more readily. And
okay, so because players are parents now, it's easier for them to relate with a parental figure.
But that's not...
But I'm not a parent, and I liked The Walking Dead and God of War.
I am a parent through technicality. Like... And I wasn't until earlier
but
this
you
year.
played these before you were.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just sitting there like, no, I need to
Every-
protect these children.
But the lone wolf and cub style story can appeal to a mass audience without you having to specifically relate
Yeah,
to the position of fatherhood. It's the fucking I need there to be somebody who looks like me on screen for me to relate to them properly argument.
Yeah, that's
it
which is
doesn't it's not
weird.
fucking real. It's not a fucking real phenomenon. You can relate to a character for many reasons.
Yeah, and
That's
if you
it,
really
doesn't
if you
do it.
relate to them because of the way you look rather than the way you feel, then you're just fucking shallow.
Yes,
But,
but what? So like, I can't relate to Kratos because I'm not a parent of a child that I want to soften to me. I have dogs. Like, I know what it feels like to have something that you want to protect.
Well, yeah,
like-
I hated my brother at the time, but it was because of that connection that I had that I still I could still like understand the father-son relationship in The Road and in The Last of Us. You know, hell, arguably because of my own father-son relationship with my own dad. You know, because we don't have the best relationship, but we still try, and most of what he's done in his life, even if it hurt, was still in an attempt to make my life better.
Sure.
You know, even if he made a mistake, even when he failed, it was always in an attempt to make my life or the life of his daughter better. So it's like I understood that, like I was smart enough in high school to like understand that struggle, and I could like, you know, I could relate to it on a very personal level when I was reading The Road and you know, watching PewDiePie play the Last of Us and The Walking Dead, and later when I played those games for myself in college.
There you go.
Yeah, it's almost like it's a basic human experience. You don't need to be a parent to relate to a parent.
Like, I've never known anybody who got killed, and I had to avenge them.
Yeah.
Does that mean I can't relate to Frank Castle?
Or John Wick or fucking Eren Yeager or anyone.
Yeah. Well, see, Eren Yeager is too revengeful for me. I'm not angry enough to like Eren Yeager.
Hell, even Luke Skywalker to a degree.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Aaron's got more depth though because he cries sometimes.
Yeah, but so does Luke.
He's perfect.
Oh wait, no. He just doesn't. He doesn't cry tears. Never mind. He's too stoic. He has no
cries-
feelings.
I'm
Never
pretty sure
mind
he
the
sheds
climax.
tears in Empire Strikes Back.
They don't like run down his face, but he is crying pretty heavily.
Yeah. There you go. Hayden Christensen was actually able to shed a tear.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, that's true. Therefore, he's a deeper character than Luke Skywalker.
It was a digital tear.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
That wasn't a real tear. It was gel. It wasn't digital. It was gel.
oh, okay.
Anyway.
And as they in turn soften up to the protagonist and vice versa, doubling
Okay, so yeah, vice versa. You meant it both ways.
That,
They
that's
soften to each other.
up on their appeal with their fantasized worlds, possibly
Pulling up on the appeal with their fantasized worlds of being daddy. That's just... Am I wrong to be made kind of uncomfortable by his choice?
weird. When you word it like that, it sounds fucking weird.
Yeah.
even finding appeal in younger players looking to have children later in life, or more appeal to older players looking to recapture that long since past.
I assure you, I did not relate to Lee or Clementine because I wanted to be a dad in the future. I related to them because, well, firstly, Lee is built upon my choices. You know?
To Lee because he's a convict.
You know, but like, there's also just like the fact of like, a child is like inherently, you know, like or almost inherently, like innocent and you know your instinct is to immediately protect them. You know, that's your human instinct. If anything, you could argue that it's cheating to use a child in your media. You know, that's like easy mode to have like a child and have them be sympathetic. In fact, actually, he said that earlier in the video. just with different words. So yeah, it's.
Is it racist that Lee starts the game out in a cop car?
To be fair, the man did murder his wife.
Yeah, maybe he did that.
OJ Leeson.
My name is Lee, but you might know me by the juice.
I can hear the voice actor saying that. My name is Lee, but you can call me the Juice.
Past experience of raising their own children, finding a shallow connection with these youths based around their
And then he goes on to say it again. God damn it.
Yeah, we need a shallow connection with these youths.
Hey guys, what you doing?
We're watching a pedophile talk about video games.
What the fuck?
I don't
Okay,
think he's a pedophile. He just said something really weird earlier.
Okay, now that Fetty's here, I can go check on my dog. You guys can talk for a second.
Okay. Hi, Fet. So this guy's argument so far is that video games are, I guess, cheating and shallow because children characters aren't actually all that in-depth.
Oh, okay.
I'm back.
Yeah, like, would you say that, like, one sentence summarizes the entirety of this guy's argument, East? That video games are cheating because child characters aren't in-depth?
I would say that, yeah, that probably, so far, yeah. I don't know.
It's been 4.5 minutes, and that's all that we can draw out of it. Like,
Yeah,
as like what he's trying to
that's
say.
fair. That's fair. Video games take the easy route by turning children into contrivances and plot devices, basically.
Yeah, but that's like every character he's shown except for one has actually been
Except for
in-depth.
Sonny.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's
And again, as previously stated, now Fetty wasn't here, so I have to catch him up on one important detail. If the entire story is shit, it doesn't matter if one character is also badly written.
Right.
Okay, good. We're all on the same page.
I thought you were gonna go on your fucking what's her fucking name rant? Nope.
No, he can watch the Sonny rant in the VOD.
No,
later.
the other one. What the Persona?
Oh, Futaba?
Futaba. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was gonna say Nobue. I was like, that's not right.
That is definitely not right. I don't think there's ever been a character in Persona named that, and there are hundreds of characters in Persona games.
labels rather than their characters, well, looking to recapture that long since past experience of raising their own children. Finding a shallow connection with these youths based around their labels rather than their characters, well, character.
Okay, I relate to Atreus heavily because my dad and I don't have the best relationship, but unlike Atreus, I understand, because my dad's been clear with me the whole time, that every decision my dad has made has been, in one way or another, an attempt to improve the lives of his children.
Oh, same here.
He's sacrificed so much for me. Kratos doesn't communicate that at first in the 2018 game because he's afraid of Atreus going down the same path. He's so desperate to hide what happened in the past that he doesn't want to even talk about it, because he doesn't want Atreus to know anything about it and have those dark thoughts in his head. And that's why their relationship falls apart. And so, like, seeing the strain between a father and son in this situation to begin with becoming worse and worse because of that lack of communication, it's heartbreaking, really. It's not it's not because it's like, oh, a child, they're cheating and I want one in the future. No, it's because, like, these are well
definitely don't want a child.
Yeah.
Fuck kids. I hate kids. I don't want one. But I like Atreus, so what does that make me?
A pedophile.
Oh, shit.
You were saying fuck kids just a second ago, dude.
Yeah, okay. If I look, I can advocate other people to do it and not engage myself, okay? Like PETA.
You're one of them not in my neighborhood types.
Not in my neighborhood.
Bond that only appears deeper when control shifts between those two figures, allowing the player to better feel the fruits of their labor in raising said children.
Allowing the player to better feel children.
Okay, what did you say before that was pedophilic?
Oh, daddy fantasy.
Wait, what?
He said
No,
he
he called God of War a daddy simulator.
Oh,
That's right. Yeah, daddy
and
simulator.
then he shortly followed that up with the child characters and the POV characters softening up to each other.
Players want to feel the reward of a child character softening up to the protagonist and vice versa is what the
okay.
yes.
Yeah, it came out a little weird.
Lower your defenses, child.
Oh, yeah.
The focus on paternal relationships isn't an inherently bad idea, and it's been used to great effect in stories like Leon the Professional, as the cold assassin Leon takes on a fatherly role towards the young and abused Matilda after she witnesses her dysfunctional family's murder. But their relationship is symbiotic for their development, as the child
Oh, you mean like Joel and Ellie and Atreus and Kratos?
Oh, I wonder. Were Lee and Clementine?
Wow! which
Jeez.
he has hailed as a good example, yet he keeps showing it in the fucking thing while he's talking about bad examples. Like, what?
But give me your bad example. Also, literally earlier in this video, he cited Persona, in which the entire playable cast is children.
You just broke your body. You just broke your internet.
like
Oh,
Leon
no,
becomes
Tristan.
Every player character in Persona is a kid. So who's the daddy simulator? Like who is supposed to be daddy in the Persona games?
Joker.
But no, you. Not Yu Narukami is daddy. Fuck Joker. Haru Adachi is daddy.
Stop fucking interrupting me while I'm trying to get through the video. We're already 2 hours in.
No, we need to go deeper.
Yeah, deeper into the video.
towards the young and abused Matilda after she
Jesus Christ, right after we said that. Oh, God.
Go deeper into the young and abused Matilda.
I'm gonna get banned. I'm gonna get fucking banned.
It's been after 5 minutes. They aren't still watching.
That's such a good out of context clip that I can never clip out of context. Like,
You can clip it and just send it to us privately and not like upload it as its own separate thing.
nah.
Uh,
Oh.
witnesses
I'll do
her
it.
dysfunctional family's murder. But their relationship is symbiotic for their development, as the child like Leon becomes more selfless and compassionate, while
Childlike Leon. How is he childlike?
that he might have misspoke because I don't think Leon is childlike at all in this movie. Have either of you seen this film, Leon the Professional?
No, I mean I'm familiar with it, but I have not seen it.
I saw the ending of it, and I've seen clips, but not the full thing yet.
Jesus Christ, you guys. Okay.
No, I know. It's on my list. I know it's a good movie. I saw how it ends.
Leon is
Okay, but-
definitely autistic. I wouldn't describe him as childlike.
What are you talking about? All child are autist.
Well, nowadays, yeah, because of all the shit in the
I
water.
mean,
But
some of them might be a little fucked in the head. That doesn't mean that they're autistic. Actually, all of them are fucked in the head. That doesn't mean they're autistic.
I mean, if they're around the guy who made this video, they're probably all getting fucked in the head.
Hey, do you guys remember that guy that said that just because I got fucked in the head and other parts of my body, that it doesn't mean I speak for all SA survivors?
I don't remember that. That's
Dude.
funny.
Dude, that guy, by the way, that guy's argument was because I was saying that, like, I've been through sexual abuse, and I think that rape jokes can be funny. And this guy was saying, no, they aren't. And that was his, like, way of saying it, was just because you got fucked in the head and other parts doesn't mean that you speak for all SA survivors. And it's like, buddy, you're out here telling me that I can't make rape jokes, but here you are making one. How
It's
about
like,
you?
here's the thing. Like, The irony is cruel. There, I love that.
Yeah, exactly. Like if that was on purpose, that would have been a funny fucking joke. But he's out here trying to moralize to me. It's like, fuck you.
Brisket, why don't you listen to the guy who has no idea what your experience is like? You're like the Uncle Tom of SA survivors.
It was Uncle Tom who touched me.
Oh my god!
Nah, it was some fucking Filipino woman who blackmailed me.
Over
It's
the
always-
internet.
Yeah, which makes it even worse.
I got fucking groomed. All right.
Yeah, but you're proud of it. Like that's
Yeah, it was a fucking. As far as I'm concerned, it was a fucking takedown.
because she didn't groom you. You groomed her.
Holy shit! Okay, let's.
Whoa, wait. Give me the subject matter.
I need you to rephrase that. I need you to rephrase that right now.
She was 53. I swear, officer. She was 53, not 3-3.
Her hips barely worked because I dislocated them first.
Jeez.
Oh fuck! If we weren't on a watch list before, we gotta be now.
Speak for yourself. My CIA operative is in the room with me right now.
Is it your dog?
He's laughing his ass off. Yes, Officer Odin. He's
Officer Doggy. Officer Doggy style.
No, we're not. No. What the fuck?
no. That's Officer, doggy style question mark.
Doggies.
Sir, doggy style. You want to know how to get out of a ticket? That's how you get out of a ticket.
It brings a new definition to the canine unit.
This is a very serious case, but there must be that I think I can come up with a way you can get you off.
Anyway.
While Matilda is forced into early maturity.
My God!
Oh.
We cannot escape!
This is.
The title of this episode needs to just be the most fucked up episode yet.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
The room come.
Oh god! No, the title of the episode is gonna be "Living Up to the Name."
She has to go, oh god. Like, you're just making everything worse now, man.
Fuck.
Just let him do the innuendos. You don't have to get involved.
Yes, I
Jesus
do.
Christ!
That idea, and it's been used to great effect in stories like Leon the Professional, as the cold assassin Leon takes on a fatherly role towards the young and abused Matilda after she witnesses her dysfunctional family's murder. But their relationship is symbiotic for their development, as the child like Leon becomes more selfless and compassionate, while Matilda is forced into early maturity, becoming an assassin as well as coping and sorting out her newfound emotions, primarily brought about by Leon's role as her teacher and first caring father figure. Before
That scene, by the way, is creepy as fuck. The one that he was just showing footage of.
It looks creepy
Yeah.
as fuck.
But anyway, moving on.
the film finally climaxes,
Oh yeah, spoiler by the way.
Oh yeah, spoilers for a movie that came out in the fucking.
Well,
early
here's the thing.
1990s.
He's got spoilers: God of War, Persona 5, and The Last of Us, but not Leon the Professional.
Spoilers for Leon the Professional, one of arguably Luc Besson's best film.
Is this like the fucking Baragon in the GMK title, where it's just the title's already long enough, we're not gonna squeeze it into the title.
you know by the title who's not making it very far.
Yeah, right.
assassin as well as coping and sorting out her newfound emotions, primarily brought about by Leon's role as her teacher and first caring father figure, before the film finally climaxes in Leon's death, leaving Matilda to fulfill Leon's last wish of settling down so she can lead a normal life, albeit as a more hardened yet broken individual. And in other films like Pan's Labyrinth,
Yes, Leon the Professional is a very good movie.
Yeah, everyone should go watch
Matilda
it.
Matilda has a lot of depth. Everyone should always-
Also,
Actually, just get
also,
and
it's
now-
just like when the guy said finally climaxes, I was waiting for one of you to fucking laugh.
What the-
No, because you didn't unpause it at the right moment for it to be funny. It just kind of
Okay, okay.
hobbled out there.
Okay.
Fetty was trying to say something.
No, I got nothing to say.
Okay, sound like a robot.
Beep boop.
Okay, okay.
In The Devil's Backbone, the children take the leading role as their conflict surrounds matured men that they must protect other younger individuals from, that result in their own developments, conflicts, and early maturation.
Oh, you mean like Ellie and Atreus?
What? Oh, you mean like every character in Persona 4?
Does this motherfucker play these games?
Oh, you mean like every character in Persona 5?
Because we're like a third of the way through the video. It's like
Persona 5 mostly deals in you protecting other children from adult, like, antagonists. The first enemy in the game is a gym teacher who's abusing his students.
mm,
Wait, in what way?
I don't.
Just
It's a gym teacher in Japan. I don't think you
phys-
need to ask.
physical and verbal. There is a mild implication of sexual abuse with one female student. Well, technically two, but
Listen, I'm just gonna say it again. It's a gym teacher in Japan. Do you have to ask?
Exactly, which means that if there was essay going on, they would have played it off as comedy.
oh no, they definitely don't play it off as comedy. Not for this character anyway. They do for another one later, but.
Oh, hi, the boys.
Fuck the
It's a
boys.
marriage.
Yeah. I heard about the interview where the guy like laughed at Huey's rape scene. It's fucking great. Makes me feel great about everything.
Wait, the one in the comics?
No, the one in the show.
There's one in the show.
Most recent episode of the show has Huey in a BDSM lair, getting assaulted.
They have. So they just did the Marcellus Wallace thing.
No, Huey doesn't get raped. He gets his feet tickled until somebody else comes.
On him.
Get it? Ha ha.
Oh yeah, but
I-
like the joke is, hey, look, this is what Batman really does in his free time. That's the
Yeah,
main
that's
joke.
it. That's the whole
Which
joke.
is-
The whole joke is just, hey, Batman's a weird sex pervert. It's like, okay, cool. Can something funny happen? This show fucking
No,
sucks.
I think
The
I might
show
just
is
prefer the comic where I think I might just prefer the comic where Black Noir actually just butt fucks him. Yeah, at least that one's
Yeah, there you go.
and
Yeah,
taken seriously.
Well, yeah, and like automatically because that is taken seriously and it's more like it's more visceral. Immediately better than what happens in the show. Immediately.
You guys saw one of the last tweets I made before my account got nuked, where I said that the Boys TV show has come full circle, where it started out as dramatically better than the comic and is now drastically worse.
I did not
yeah.
see that.
Okay, yeah, I said that.
No, makes sense.
I actually haven't read the comic. I just know a few of the.
The comic
You know.
is not better than season 1 of the show, but it is better than season 4 of the show.
Oh, I don't really hold. I don't hold anything past season 1 to that high of a standard. I think season 1's great. Season 2's average at best, and
You shouldn't even hold the
about
comic to a very high standard. The comic kind of blows too.
so I've heard. I mean, I've heard a lot about it, and I don't even think I want to read it. Just looking at some of those panels makes me just.
Yeah, the art sucks too. Like even
Yeah,
if
and
it wasn't depicting stuff that's just gross for the sake of being shocking.
Yeah, and then there's the constant slur usage that's just there to make the superheroes look like assholes, I guess.
I don't know. There's something charming about Homelander bursting through a wall like the Kool-Aid Man and just saying, "F***ing
It's just like not very fitting. Like fucking panels of like Alan
Like-
the alien being like, why am I being lectured by the least black man on the planet? Least black man on the planet. I'm like, Garth, buddy, this is not it.
This ain't it, Garth. You wrote really good Punisher comics, but this ain't it." Did you just eh?
Yeah, I went, eh.
You went to Garth Ennis's Punisher run?
I just realized there's a child with her mouth open wearing a choker. I'm gonna
Those
hit play.
developments stop the characters from
Oh,
feeling like props and more like actual people.
On my screen, it was stopped on the searchers looking shot.
No, it was a completely different frame on my screen.
Okay,
thankfully the Discord's gonna cover it up.
I probably
but
would have
still,
voted for the same had it been the same on my screen.
The Discord's gonna cover it up, so fuck.
No.
Anyway, fucking where were we? Fuck.
Protect other younger individuals from that result in their own developments, conflicts, and early maturation. Those developments stop the characters from feeling like props and more like actual people. But in games, that relationship is often one-sided, as the child is often used as a crutch for the actual.
Okay, again, Assassin's Creed Origins is just shit. So this is not a good example.
Well, even so, it's not as shallow as he's making it out to be. Where it's like, oh, it's just a crutch. It's like the impetus of his entire motivation. Like, yes, it's not explored like it should be. That's absolutely certain. But like,
Well, okay. So here's the thing: it is still a fridge moment.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
it's
absolutely.
not-
I'm not denying that, but it's not
Yeah.
like it's not a crutch. It's literally the impetus for the plot. It's the inciting incident.
And one could make the argument that it's a really lazy inciting incident
Yeah, sure.
because it's easy. Everybody can look at kid getting murdered and go, "Well, yeah, obviously."
Well, yeah, but then immediately they just like leave instead of killing Bayek too. It's like, okay, you probably should have killed him there.
Well, no, they needed the rest of the game to happen.
Well,
I guess.
yeah, but that's like that's the problem. That's why you don't write the shit like
No,
that.
I know. I know. I'm making the kinds of arguments that I see other people make.
Yeah, don't be retarded.
Don't tell me you're not my dad. As much as you like to fantasize about it because you play video games.
Oh yeah, because I played Dad of Boy Simulator.
Yes, dad of boy.
Boy.
Like this is a really bad example, but for not for the reasons he's saying.
Dad of boy, Ragnarok the Cradle. Whatever.
As the child is often used as a crutch for the actual protagonist's development when they're not acting as a plot device, essentially placing them in a protective bubble.
Hey, there it is.
There
it is, you did it.
So the child is in a protective bubble. Here's Kemu with a knife in his heart.
I'm gonna I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt here. The protective bubble over this image is more meant to represent that the child is safe from being through anything that he would have to endure to grow from.
But then why the fuck is the video
As a
about
character.
God of War, Persona, and The Last of Us?
Because here's the thing. Those are the three things that are the most popular in all of the footage he's shown, so he wrote them in the title for the tags.
Oh.
That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it.
In fact, children are often exceptions from the worlds of mature rated titles. Some populate them while being exempt from standard rules of play to prevent them from.
I hate that I can't murder children in Skyrim.
Well, no, I'm with you, buddy.
Yeah, I don't play Skyrim, but I hate the fact you can't do it in Fallout.
Yeah, you should be able to in Fallout. It's a cruel world, bitch.
Yeah.
Grow up.
from harm, while others exist solely away from those worlds entirely. Some
Also, I like how he's showing modded footage. It like, in the off chance that someone that's never played Skyrim sees this, they're gonna be like, "But you're clearly doing it though."
Yeah, that's a mod. That's the murder children mod.
I know, and it's great, but it's like, okay, maybe you should have shown like vanilla gameplay so that you can actually, prove the point you're trying to make.
I'd say it's weird how we're all endorsing murdering children, but at the same time, we've said a lot worse on this stream alone. So
Yes. Here we go. We've got an example of Watch Dogs award-winning dialogue. Wow, the healer. Cool.
I forgot that this was even a thing, like that existed.
Watch Dogs sucks.
times
I'm
only
aware.
appear Hearing as props
This is
meant
like-
to, as previously stated, act as the anchor for the protagonist's development, deconstruction, and source of motivation. As a result, they're often relegated to one-dimensional personalities.
Again, don't show this game while you're saying those words. Because there's kind of a
Everyone has
conflict
known
that
who
happens
died.
in my brain.
I'm just staring at the screen trying to not say the N-word, like...
Let the hate flow through you.
No, dude, that almost happened at work. I was listening to,
Why do you need to call him the N-word? Like, he's white. You could at least, like, call him, like, a or something.
No,
And
because,
hell, you
no,
have to...
the issue,
you even have
the
to pass for
reason...
that. You just-
The reason my brain defaulted to the N-word is because I hang out with you two idiots, and my girlfriend is black.
But that's even worse.
Yeah,
That's even
exactly!
worse.
Exactly! I am surrounded by people saying the N-word, and I'm not allowed to say it,
Say it that
apparently.
much.
Fucking vanilla,
not saying
vanilla gorilla.
Vanilla granola!
Vanilla granola. Vanilla granola. Yo, I got a box. Hey, you guys feeling peckish? I got a box of wafers over here.
There's no way.
Oh, leave it to East to make the podcast harder to fucking edit.
They're not watching. They're not looking. No one cares.
I believe every N-word ever uttered on this stream on East. I'm just saying. I mean,
You
not stream,
blame
this-
a lot of shit on me, alright?
It's just like when you say it, it's infectious. It gets everybody else riled up and saying it. That's my theory.
I don't
I
know.
know that's how
I
it
don't
is.
know why. It's my stand.
It's just
My stand, nigga, nigga. I'm 100% would it be that, or would it be Niggas in Paris?
It would be the nigga song by Gangsta Rap.
Okay, yeah.
Why do police hate niggas?
I'm just gonna move on.
And while they might grow into a character that is more readily able to defend themselves, they don't develop as people and are robbed of any character arc.
You!
What?
Everyone I've ever known.
Why would you
Left
immediately
me
fade
or
to Ellie
died.
while you say that?
Everyone I've ever known has either died or left me.
Oh, I'm
Everyone fucking except for you.
sorry.
That, in all reality, should be happening. Children aren't developed persons, they're still growing and are often inexperienced, meaning that in terms of their depth, they're often left to grow into their identities rather than the adults who've cemented themselves in those roles. But
I like how he's
Isn't that
saying that, but he's
what?
showing
Like,
Atreus
really, like-
activating Spartan Rage.
Wait, the idea of a character growing into themselves, isn't that like the whole like idea of like a hero's journey?
Yeah, like,
The whole point is that the character basically learns their place in the world and accepts it, you know, and who they are.
Yeah, that's kind of just what's the word for that?
It's as a basic fucking character arc.
it's called writing.
I think they call it a hero's something.
Yeah, I already said
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know you did. Yeah, it's basic hero's journey shit. Like, fuck, you could even like call it coming of age. Like, I know nowadays when people say it's a coming of age story, it's basically just means that this kid is a gay and he's gonna grow up to be gay. But
No, that's a coming out story.
that's the coming of age story.
Ugh.
Coming on age.
We already
And
have enough
also-
pedophile jokes,
yeah.
just to fucking cut. Halt.
Remember the movie Call Me by Your Name?
Yamero!
People liked that.
rather than address this directly, devs have found an alternative.
Huh?
Mechanical integrity.
When we're talking about God of War, we're not going to talk about the story. We're going to talk about the mechanical integrity.
Mechanics.
I think this man came from an alternate universe because God of War is kind of the opposite of that. Not that the mechanics
well,
are bad.
let-
it's just they're
hold
simple.
on. Let's have him define his terms before we make
Yeah, in
any
all
assessments
Okay,
of what
okay.
this bizarre fucking phrase.
Yeah,
means.
in all honesty, I have no idea what mechanical integrity means in relation to video games.
Like, yeah, when I see that, what happens in my brain is, oh, if I push the button, what the tutorial says the button does will happen. That's what mechanical integrity means to me when I see it, is that the mechanics will maintain integrity. They will be consistent. They will work when
Okay,
I want
okay.
them to.
To counter this lack of development and intrigue, studios began to exploit interactions with the game by creating puzzles and mechanics that were dependent on those secondary characters, all to instill a
We're using Bioshock Infinite now as an example.
So,
but there are
okay,
no
so-
children in
no,
Bioshock
no,
Infinite.
No, what the
There's-
fuck? What the? Okay, so he's saying that Atreus is just a mechanic. He's not actually a character.
Oh, this is where he's going. Okay.
But it's
Hence
like
the Bioshock Infinite footage, because Elizabeth is basically just a mechanic. Except
like,
she's not. Though.
Ellie's not a mechanic. She barely does anything. Maybe every once in a while she'll throw a brick. Once combat has
Real
started.
real good.
But like that's it. That's not a mechanic. That's just like it's not something you can rely on. It's not something that happens consistently. It's something that happens at random.
Basically, like a story tool, right?
I guess, but it's like it's something that happens at random during the game play in combat. So
Right. It's just like a neat little detail that adds a little flesh to everything, right?
yeah, because like otherwise the character's just running around doing basically nothing, maybe occasionally shooting.
I would honestly
After a
hate
certain
the
point.
character if it never did anything. You know what we call that? We call that an escort mission.
Well,
and
yeah, but
nobody
that's
likes
the
those.
thing. That's actually one
Yeah.
of the complaints about The Last of Us, because when you're stealthing around, you got the other character wandering around like right in front of people, and they're just never seen. Because like that's immersion breaking. It's like oh yeah, I'm playing a video game. Like that's one of the primary complaints of The Last of Us, like on a
Yes.
mechanical level at least.
Yes. Yes, and some people don't like that game.
sense of player dependence on them, sometimes even letting players control them to further that connection and make the player feel more responsible for their fate. But when set away from your control, they're often turned into active
Right there, right.
non-elements, primarily towards the player's sense of risk and danger, as the tension is focused solely on their own personal play. By manipulating the story and mechanics across a possible 10+ hour venture, developers can minimize the risk of players developing and building resentment towards certain characters and vice versa. But it's the former that often
He says vice versa a lot. I just
Yeah,
wanted to point
Hold
that
on,
out.
hold on,
like that.
hold on. There's something about that sentence isn't lining up right.
the story and mechanics across a possible 10+ hour venture, developers can minimize the risk of players developing and building resentment towards certain characters and vice versa.
So, developers can make sure that players don't develop a certain resentment towards characters and
Resentment
vice
towards
versa.
characters.
Meaning
Yeah,
that
wait,
the characters
wait. So can the
create
character
resentment
start
for
to
the
get annoyed at me?
player?
What?
What?
Wait. So when he was a kid and he played Warcraft 2 for the first time, did he think that it was real when he clicked on a knight too many times and he said, "What the fuck do you want?" I don't know if you guys know that, but if you in Warcraft 2, if you click on one of your units too many times without giving them an order, they'll be like, "What do you want? Make up your mind. What are you doing?"
I didn't know that about Warcraft 2, but I did know that about Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, Baldur's Gate has
specifically.
that? That's
Yeah,
cool.
if you click on a character like repeatedly, they'll eventually like tell you to stop. It's really funny.
Yeah, Warcraft 2 did it first in like 1990 something.
Yeah,
and it
that
was
makes sense.
hilarious then, and it's still funny when it happens in modern games.
Yeah, I mean, granted, Astarion does it when you just click on him once, or you just switch over.
Well, yeah, because he can't be fucked, right?
Yeah. You just switch over to him, and he goes, "Don't touch me." Like all the other characters, at least go, "What do you need first?" You know, but he just, "Don't touch me." he's just an
Beautiful.
asshole.
But it's the former that often makes up the status of partners in such instances, even if it comes at the cost of the player's immersion. Though through such manipulation, it robs the player of a deeper experience that would be available by turning
Oh. Okay.
Is that a Resident Evil game?
No. I recognized it, but now I'm trying to figure out what it
Is that the Brother Saga or whatever it's called?
Maybe. Anyway.
turning them into active assets. By coherently melding narrative and mechanical design, such as in Brothers, Tale of Two Sons, and
That's what it
Resident Evil
was.
4,
Tale of
we're
Two
able to
Sons.
better
Oh, goody. Oh, goody.
Does Ashley count as a child?
No, she is 19. Actually, I think she's 21.
Why the fuck are we
22.
focusing on... Okay.
convey
How
their
old is
tension and get players invested in their characters mechanically rather than narratively, while granting users majority control over their partners and consequences of their
Ashley's 20.
actions. Brothers gave players control over both characters with both halves of the controller, and accordingly gave players two objects of focus in gameplay, ultimately conveying the surviving brother's growth come the end by having him use both controller ends to narratively signify his brother's influence over him.
Okay.
Okay, so does that not extend to God of War Ragnarok? Obviously, Brothers does it better, because you're playing both characters thoroughly. But does God of War not sort of do that by having you actually have direct control over Atreus and basically showing the father-son relationship developing? In fact, you could even hear in the way that Atreus, like, shouts the spells and shoots his bow and, like, you know, watches out for you, like, the development and what point of the story you're in.
Yeah. So you have a mechanic, and through that mechanic, in the writing, you add depth to the character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there.
So why is
I don't
he...
see what's so difficult to grasp about that.
Why is he complaining that Atreus is just a mechanic without having the balls to fucking say it? Just say it, dude.
You realize that games are made up of many elements that can create depth, right? Not just, it's not like, you know, book where all you have is writing.
It's funny, he literally said that, actually. Earlier, he was talking
in
about,
the
like,
beginning
how,
of the video.
Yeah, how there's so many parts to a video game that it's easy to be distracted from a story's writing. And we agreed.
All of the parts of the game, even those that aren't writing, can still be used to add depth to a character. It can be in an animation or the way that, like, a certain attack plays out.
That's why I love Ghost of Tsushima and Red Dead 2 so much, because everything in those games builds up the characters.
Oh yeah, everything, like even the smallest side missions, the optional ones, they give you more and more.
But Resident Evil 4 did things a bit differently with Ashley, even if she wasn't a child. It may not
Thank you for mentioning that she wasn't a child, and also thank you for having her in the alternate costume. I really hope that it keeps in when it cuts to her front. But that's neither here nor there.
have been a character or emotionally driven title
Yeah.
such as the ones I've mentioned so far, but because Ashley had her own health bar, Capcom had to make her someone players needed to care for mechanically.
Okay. I don't have anything to say yet. I'm just bracing myself for how stupid this argument is going to be.
Okay.
And the method they used was by having her be an actual asset in gameplay despite being unable to fight. To work around this, Ashley doesn't climb down ladders, but rather Leon catches her to speed up the process. Because enemies target her, but she clings to Leon, it keeps the focus feeling as though it's on the player and puts a bigger emphasis on precise aiming to protect not just yourself, but Ashley as well, as she is capable of taking player damage even when not captured. She can hide
Yes, I think everything's lining up so far, but
So far, yeah.
I think that is a little bit annoying because the way she was clinging, it's like there was no fucking way he made that shot with the weapon he was using.
She'll duck, yeah. But like, her hitbox is smaller than she is, so she'll duck, and you will completely whiff her as long as the duck animation occurs. That being said, you can totally still shoot her on accident,
That's
and
funny.
she'll die, and it's fucking annoying. Resident Evil 4 is great, by the way. Everybody go play Resident Evil 4.
I was gonna say, like, doesn't the in-depth nature of that mechanic make the game all the more annoying, at least in the way that it's executed here?
it makes it more annoying, but it also heightens the tension because now you got to make sure that you are aiming properly. You've got to make sure that you are positioning yourself so that she is always standing behind you. Or you can leave her in a dumpster, as it's happening on the screen
with
currently.
her little dinosaur hands.
with their little little T-Rex hands.
Yeah, so it's kind of a double-edged sword mechanically.
Yeah, and it's fun. Resident Evil 4's escort missions are the most fun that I've had in escort missions in a game because Ashley has a lot more like dynamism is a lot more dynamic of a character than a lot of other characters in escort
She's
missions.
also a lot more mechanically involved than most escort missions, which is just character runs straight and has health bar.
Yes, she's also hot as shit, which is a benefit too.
Yeah, and the devs knew that, and they added mechanics to, you know what I'm talking about.
I didn't realize that the president's daughter was equipped with ballistics as well.
I was talking about
They took that line out of the remake, and I will kill them.
Yeah, that one's also another double-edged sword of a video game from what I've seen.
Yeah,
They're both great.
Anywho.
They're both fucking great, but they've both
they
got
both
their
are
flaws.
great. They're both great games. I prefer the original one.
Yeah, that's kind of
Commanded to
consensus
let
I've
players
seen.
use her as bait to alleviate enemy pressure, as well as operating cranks in place of the player. She can even assist the player by calling out when in danger or by mentioning key points of interest.
Oh, you mean like how Atreus does that for
Yeah.
Kratos?
Okay, so yeah, no, here's the thing. Nothing that he's saying about Ashley is incorrect, but it's retroactively making his arguments about Atreus wrong. Like, this disproves your point because other characters that you have mentioned earlier in this video do these things.
Yeah, and Clementine has no mechanics. Let's be real. She's just a good
Yeah, no,
character.
she's just there. Yeah, she's like,
because
yeah.
Telltale doesn't have mechanics other than click button.
Well, yeah, like it's a point and click game. Like
Yeah.
I'm not, I don't expect the other characters to be doing anything. I played Clock Tower. I know how this shit goes. Clock Tower's fucking good.
Shoot those barrels on that wagon!
While other partner characters may do one or two of those elements, it's how much care and detail that went into her design, not just narratively, but mechanically and atmospherically, that make her an active element, as she allowed
And you get to play as her a couple of times.
Yeah.
developers to craft more variety in level design, challenges, and the game's pacing, while also giving the player more creative options in how they wanted to play, all without disrupting the game's flow. Meaning losing Ashley didn't just have ramifications for the story, but the developers and player as well, as it decreased the scope of the game's design, placing her value above that of the partner characters that would come after her, as they
Okay. What do we think of that?
I spaced. What?
Okay, let's go back. Placing her value above that of the partner characters that would come after her that do the same things that she does.
Yeah, it's just, I think what it is
Elizabeth
that she's...
in Bioshock Infinite will pick up ammo for you.
Well, yeah, but I think what it is just that she's mechanically the best.
I won't deny that. Even though I like Elizabeth in Bioshock Infinite, I find it fucking annoying that the camera yanks over to her every time she throws you something and then jerks back to where you were facing and you have to completely reorient.
Oh, that's obnoxious.
Oh yeah, no, Bioshock Infinite is almost a great game in a lot of respects, but holy shit, the things that keep it from being great are fucking annoying.
Yeah.
But yeah, so characters that would later follow suit in terms of partnering up with your escortee being lesser than Ashley, like I can get behind it.
Yeah, I just don't know that it's worth, like, denigrating the other games, necessarily, because, like, Sam and Elena and Chloe and all that, like, they're your backup, but they do a good enough job. Like, I've been going through Uncharted with my girlfriend, and, and plenty of times I've been, like, absolutely dominating a fight, and then I run out of ammo at the last guy or whatever as I'm turning, and it's like, oh shit, And so I start getting shot at, and I'm reloading, and then Elena will just dome the fucker, and it's great. It's like, oh, that was awesome. Because, like,
Yes.
your companions aren't as good at any of the game's mechanics as you, the player, are, but they're still there enough to help you when you need it. You know, and Atreus specifically, which is where the focus of this is, he he calls out danger, just like Ashley does, and you can use him to cast certain spells and shoot arrows and stuff, which is
And you
super
can
helpful
upgrade
against
him.
the nightmares.
Yes.
And again,
Um,
Ellie throws bricks and is just a well-written character, meaning that she's mechanically more in-depth than Clementine.
Yes, and it doesn't really work under the definition that he's using of partner characters, but because he's talking about it in this video, also, your party in Persona,
Mhm.
like it's an RPG, it's a turn-based RPG, so I don't know if he would count it, but he's talking about it in this video, so I'm gonna fucking bring it up anyway. Your party members have, you know, their personas and items, and in Persona 3, the remake of Persona 3 anyway, you can send one of your party members to a floor above you in a dungeon to explore and gather items that when you meet back up to them, they'll give you, so you don't have to explore that floor. Because they'll do it for you, and it'll be mapped out when you meet up with them upstairs. That, mechanically, that's a fucking great thing to have, because it limits your already exorbitant playtime in a 100-hour RPG. So, like, Ashley can't do that. You can't send Ashley out to clear zombies in the next area. Oh, right, all those characters are children.
Yeah, and I just remembered Final Fantasy 15. I'm pretty sure everyone in your party in that game is a child. Like Noctis is like 15.
Yeah, you're all teens. Wait, is Ignis an adult?
He might be.
I think Ignis.
And
is an adult.
Gladio is older than Noctis, so he might be an adult too. But either way, like Prompto and Noctis especially, you know, because you play as those two, and they get all kinds of fucked up. They're getting shot, set on fire, beat up, chewed on.
Oh, jeez.
You know?
Okay, so you were way wrong. Noctis is 20, Prompto is 20, Ignis
No,
is
the fuck
22,
he is
and
not!
Gladiolus is 23.
No, hold on, no. If I'm
Yeah.
wrong, then I'm wrong. Jesus,
Yeah.
I could swear the game said that he was 15 at some point.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm seeing, and then I found multiple sources, including one that has the birthdays that they're given in the game. So yeah,
Oh,
they're all adults.
well, I was mistaken then. My bad.
Noctis acts like an edgy teen, but apparently he is not.
Yeah, no, I genuinely thought he was 15 because of that. You know, it's Final Fantasy 15, and he acts like a 15-year-old, so it's like, oh,
He's got a hair that no adult in their right mind would ever style. Like,
yeah, like he looks like fucking Sasuke, who is 15.
yeah.
You know, so it's like I had every reason to believe he was. So forgive me for not being lore master on the okay Final Fantasy 15.
A very okay Final
Yeah,
Fantasy.
I like that game, but I'm not gonna. It's not that great.
Yeah.
I
As they
play it to
largely-
wander. That's it.
Oh, it's a great walking simulator where you can fight things sometimes.
Yeah, pretty much. And by fight, it's
be
hold
relegated
button.
to being ignored by the game when it player as well, as it decreased the scope of the game's design, placing her value above that of the partner characters that would come after her, as they'd largely be relegated to being ignored by the game when it's convenient for the player and designer. On repeat playthroughs though, you can even equip her in a suit of armor that makes her invulnerable to enemies and damage, just in
I've never used that because I'm not a fucking pussy.
case you're looking to play for fun. It may not result in everyone liking her, but it does create a deeper sense of tension and dread in the player, the ideal emotions for a horror shooter. So another developer
Yes, Ashley's fucking great.
Developers create characters and non-puzzles that impede gameplay rather than enhance it, it comes off more as an inconvenience in gameplay made at the cost of immersing the player in their story. Rarely a good idea with minimal exceptions. While some
Okay, but what does that have to do with the nature of the children?
But yeah, now we're just
Because now we're talking about mechanics separate from the children rather than, like, how it pertains to the children.
also Clementine looks high as hell right now. She is fucking blazing it on that train.
Hey, Clem, you want some lead? You want some of that lee weed?
Oh no, the blacks are giving drugs to children.
To giving drugs to the light skins.
Oh no! We're gonna be cool just like them.
such tactics may work for some, it's little more than a gamified version of Hollywood's child exploitation. Because the value of children in games is
Hollywood's child exploitation is very different in reality from what I think he means.
Yeah. But do we need to go back to something I said earlier, where Hollywood typically avoids stories about children in abusive situations because it's a little too close to home?
Yeah.
focused on them acting as likable and relatable figures that can be easily marketed, rather than captivating the player mechanically or building them up in the story as intriguing characters.
Oh my god, it's Bruce Wayne! You can't use Bruce Wayne as an example!
You never played as him as a child in any of the Arkham games, nor, to my knowledge, in any of the other Batman
But he's
games,
still a
so it
child in
doesn't-
the video game, in the narrative, which is...
But look,
What's-
see, he's a kid
not
and he's
really.
watching his parents get
Sure,
shot.
there's a couple of cutscenes with him as a child, sure, but it doesn't make him a child in the game.
No, I've said
If
in
you
the
spend
narrative.
99% of the time.
He is a child at points in the narrative, which is the main point of contention that he was complaining about earlier.
Yeah, how dare he be a child? I want to play as motherfucking Batman, not this stupid kid.
Through their motivations, actions, and depth, the actual elements that transform mere images and personalities
Oh my god, was he getting raped?
into the
He was getting
icons that stick with
down by
us
his
throughout the years, perhaps even causing the viewers to reflect upon themselves and how they perceive the world.
Okay.
This is
so
probably the worst frame you could have paused on.
child development. Today we're going to talk about father and daughter relationships. Do you have a daddy? That's an Eminem reference for anyone who may be confused.
Oh, okay, good. I was getting a little scared.
Okay, well, what?
What song is that, Haley?
No, I mean, it's not Haley's song, it's the one that she's in, though. What was it fucking called? It's off the same album. It's the
Eminem Show?
yeah, it's off the Eminem Show. Yeah, I gotta pull it up. Fuck. Okay.
We got 6 minutes left in the video. Let's troop.
Okay.
The most common form of the ideal in crafting likable characters is they fail to work on anything more than a surface level
My dad's gone crazy.
My dad's gone crazy. Fuck!
because they fail to ask the question of what the cost of their character is. They might be idealistic, antisocial, perhaps even overly emotional, but they never ask why those traits are in place or explore them enough to grant them meaning.
Because it's a child! A child
I
is
need to clip that.
necessarily going to have a more naive view on the world.
I need to clip that because it's a child. Won't somebody please think of the children?
Like, am I wrong for thinking that?
No. Children have a naive and simplified view of the world. That's just how it works. A child is not going to come out the womb quoting Nietzsche. Well, maybe. if your dad read you Nisha when you were in the womb, but you're gonna be a fucked up kid.
Oh,
They're expected and used as a shorthand for damaged and powerless characters without properly justifying it, leaving us to
Damaged and powerless, he says as he shows a character that has already
As he-
killed several people, and both alive and infected, I guess.
Also, it's doing weird things to my brain that he's playing Persona 5 music over footage of The Last of Us.
It's making you hate love, hate love, hate love.
I have the weirdest boner right now.
Maybe. Oh god, is this just the pedophile episode? Is the yeah, fucking Marlene's looking at you like, Jesus, man, what the fuck's wrong with you?
I'll pedophile that away for later. Stop!
leaving them to wallow in their own misery. Combined with the protective bubble that surrounds them, it only makes it more difficult to work with and results in titles such as The Last of Us, Persona 5, and even Life is Strange only skirting the line of true trauma and conflict.
Oh my god, that game
Okay.
looks so fucking ugly.
Dude, I don't want to defend Life is Strange too much, but holy fuck, protected and free of trauma is not the thing that game series is.
I shot
They're fucking college students. They're not children.
Persona 5 literally opens with a girl from your school throwing herself off the rooftop of the school because she's been abused by one of her teachers.
That is
Free
literally
from
in,
trauma, my fucking ass.
that is also in Life is Strange. That's the end of one of the episodes.
Oh yeah, no, that's how you fucking start Persona 5. Strap in, motherfucker.
Ooh, balls! and then you start fucking what was it? You start The Last of Us with a child getting shot and
Child
another
getting
one
shot!
and another one fucking like growing up in the world like that came as a fallout to everything that led to that other child getting shot. So
Yeah.
and then do we even need to explain what happens in God of War?
Oh, no, I don't think so. It would take too long.
Frequently
Okay, so what happens is no.
Shut the fuck up.
saving such subjects for the sequels with mixed results. They can't be damaged or suffer any real lasting damage.
Okay.
with
Okay.
this scene on screen.
Okay. This scene, yes, okay. But also, he specifically mentioned sequels. So The Last of Us Part 2... Fuck.
Are we
No,
about to defend
no,
The
I
Last of Us
refuse.
Part 2?
I fucking refuse. No. Hell no. No. I refuse. No.
East,
No.
be a man of...
No.
Be-
No. No. Don't make me do it. Fuck you.
no.
do it! You gotta do it!
Ellie's trauma definitely extends into The Last of Us Part 2 and informs all of the decisions that she makes at the beginning of that game that lead to and include Joel's fucking death. And her revenge quest
That leads to her losing 2 of her fingers.
that leads to her losing a massive part of her hand. The Last of Us Part 2 definitely carries over Ellie's trauma from the first game.
We really had to defend The Last of Us 2.
You didn't have to. You didn't.
This fucking psychopath just put me through a goddamn jigsaw trap. That is my jigsaw test. First, I want to play a game before you is a fucking idiot who doesn't understand The Last of Us. You have to defend The Last of Us Part 2 because his argument is so fucking retarded.
Your final challenge.
Live or die, the choice is yours.
Ah, hell no, your ass tweaking, Jigsaw.
And I choose life. I chose life, and I don't want to live.
Okay, so also I'd like to point out that Ellie's drama with what's this guy's fucking name again?
Yo.
No, the pedophile, the cannibal pedophile, whatever.
I don't remember his name.
Her, if I remember correctly, her trauma with this guy is never fully resolved because she's like despondent throughout the next level.
Yeah.
And then that doesn't go away because because it's spring in the next level. Joel has to like actively try and comfort her and make her feel better. And that is months after what happens here. And then shortly after Joel comforts her, they get knocked out and brought to the Firefly Hospital, which means that her trauma with this is never resolved in the first game. She just kind of gets over it somewhere between 1 and 2.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it did turn her lesbian, so.
No, she
That's
was a
true.
lesbian beforehand.
That's also true.
Although this probably wouldn't have helped make her straight, that's for sure.
Nah.
But you can tell she's already been through something similar because she picked up on the clues right the fuck away and broke his finger. So, like, there's implications that, you know, this isn't the first time people have hit on her.
Yeah.
There's, like, I don't think they're saying that she's a victim quite yet, but, oh god, the implication is there. It is possible.
Mm-hmm.
This is just the
As a
pedophile
result, the
episode.
characters fail to meet their environments and at worst only suffer from an implied trauma, only truly being
Okay, that dad is based, though.
Because... It's because he's a cop?
No, it's because he doesn't appreciate his daughter smoking weed in his house.
Yeah, he's a harsh but correct man.
No, like, yeah, he's a cop, but, you know, even a broken clock is right.
afflicted when death becomes necessity, making it harder to believe in the true perils of a given situation when their mere existence and well-being are the only things keeping the story moving forward.
Jesus Christ. Why would you say that while showing the consequence of trauma?
Just keep going.
Accordingly, all trauma and damaged
Hold
or
on.
suffer any real lasting danger, and as a result, the characters fail to meet their environments and at worst only suffer from an implied trauma, only truly being afflicted when death
All trauma is implied. What are you fucking talking about? If it happened in the past, of course it's just implied. It's how they deal with it in the... Oh, fuck off.
becomes necessity, making it harder to believe in the true perils of a given situation when their mere existence and well-being are the only things keeping the story moving forward.
Wait, the child's existence and well-being are the only thing. But the threat to that well-being is a harm to the well-being, is it not? Like, just inherently? Like, yeah, the guy never managed to rape Ellie, but, like, he threatened to do it. He damn near did it!
You very nearly did it.
Like, he was not even a minute away from doing that. Like, that's... How is that not... Like, is this guy saying, yeah, Ellie should have been raped, by the way? It's like, what? Is that what he's trying to say?
I don't think that's what he's trying to say, but it's how it's coming off given the footage that he's using.
Yeah. It's really fucking weird.
It's been a consistent thread where, like, he just doesn't think about the clips he's using. Because, like, even in the early part of the video, like, I even said, like, okay, you're making good points, but you're using the wrong example.
Yeah.
And that's just continued to the point where it almost seems like he's advocating for Ellie should have been raped in The Last of Us to make the trauma more meaningful.
But...
Again, I don't think that's what he's saying. But
Like, hey, East, remember
But because of the Kuleshov effect that's fucking going on right now.
remember when you said that Daddy Simulator made me uncomfortable? I feel like this is my moment to be uncomfortable.
This is the new, yeah.
This. I could hear it in the fucker's voice. It's time for a Daddy Simulator, Ellie.
Stop your fussing. You're just making Daddy's penis harder.
Oh! I might
That's from the
cut
Human
that out of the
Centipede
episode. That was
That's
really
from the-
bad.
That's from the Human Centipede too.
I'm not gonna watch it then. Okay.
No, you shouldn't watch
Accordingly,
any
all
of them.
trauma and damage begins to feel superficial, and our characters fail to change as a result. Because
All trauma and damage feels superficial, and our characters fail to change as a result. Motherfucker, I'm not
Okay.
gonna repeat what I just went over.
Am I gonna
So
have
never
to?
given a
Am I
chance
gonna? Am I gonna have to defend Last of Us Part 2 again? I won't do it. I
Right?
won't do it,
Like,
Trisket. I can't. I'm not going to do it. I can't. I won't. I won't.
cope
I
with
won't
the
go
events in
back.
life they're often unable to control, sometimes even solving seemingly deep personal conflict in a matter of sentences. And it's done so habitually with no weighted and introspective dialogue, making it feel
Okay. Yes.
Name
that is
the
a problem.
example, motherfucker.
Okay. No, but like the example that he's showing, he is correct. Makoto like gets access to her persona way too fucking easily. Like it's supposed to be because like her resolve is that much stronger than everyone else's, that she just is aware of the mask and how to take it off, but like it's so very, very quick, and it doesn't come off that way until much later after you get through her entire confidant. But like, yeah, no, that we found it. We found one good example.
Hooray!
Oh goody! After Ellie should have been raped, we get one good example.
We found the nugget of gold in a pile of shit.
I think this dude would ever read like the Lost Children arc and just have that same logic.
I don't think so, because the
I don't
trauma
wanna-
is like
I
very
don't wanna
clearly
know.
meaningful in that.
I don't want to
How
know
the
this
hell-
guy's
Why
opinion.
the hell did
almost.
Yara have Jill escape? This is robbing her of some
Bullshit.
serious stuff right here.
But the
Oh.
thing is, Rosine is right there, man.
Is this gentleman's favorite anime Made in Abyss?
That's a good fucking show, though.
No, it's not. Shut up.
Don't insult that show by making this man a fan of it.
Hey, I don't have to. The author is a fan of it. That shit I don't even know.
What's that supposed to mean?
The Made in Abyss author is a pedophile.
What?
Yeah. He got fucking caught.
Oh.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Hmm.
Sorry to completely shatter your worldview there.
No, it recontextualizes some scenes. That
Yeah? Yeah?
hmm.
Yeah?
You sound so inconsolable.
You sound like... Are you okay? Should I not have said that?
I have the entire soundtrack on my playlist. Like,
That's okay, it's a good soundtrack. He didn't make that.
no, I know, but it's like I'm gonna associate it with the memories of the show, and
The memories of the show with the with like
yeah,
you know that show with all the piss in it?
I mean, I used to
I'm more interested in the
Right.
world building than the plot, if I'm being honest.
And all the piss.
What are you talking about?
There's so much piss in Made in Abyss. Might as well be called Made in Abyss.
I don't remember any of that, but okay.
The season,
look. Trisket,
I've only seen season 1.
Yeah, it's near the end of season 1. There's tons of piss.
I haven't watched Made in Abyss, but I understand what you're going through, man. My dad used to play me Bill Cosby all the time, and then I found out.
Oh no!
Exact character.
Oh,
Needless to say, I'm not returning any
no,
of
I'm
his
pretty
work.
sure that's worse because that's like childhood memories as opposed to fond memories.
Yeah. There's a difference between childhood memories and this cool thing I found kind of recently.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Bill Cosby. The Bill Cosby thing is much worse than Milkshake.
Yeah, that is
Okay,
a lot
well, I
worse than
understand that better than anybody what you're going through, Trisket, just on a worse scale.
yeah.
Bill
Oh
Cosby's
boy.
innocent.
Feel as though they're hitting a series of checklists as they instead opt for predictable and uninspired conversations and actions. The setup and cause of their trauma and tendency
Okay, but that's one scene in Persona 5, though.
Yeah, like
It's
you've
not
got
the whole game is not that bad.
you've got the Last of Us and God of War in your fucking title, and you talk about like Life is Strange as well. Like, where are the predictable and boring conversations in those games?
Yeah.
Please
So
elaborate.
predictable or boring conversations in Persona 5 either. There's stupid conversations. There's plenty of stupid writing in Persona 5, but it's not a boring game. It's not a predictable game.
Like, I could see the point being made about Atreus because he does kill that guy, right? But the thing is, like,
He
yeah, he kills the cannibal, right? And it like depresses him, it scares him. But then like Kratos has to console him, and now he has the ability to kill live people, which is why he's able to fight off Magni and Modi, and later stabs one.
You know what's funny to me is that he put spoilers for Last of Us, God of War, and Persona 5 in the title, and has actually spent more time talking about Resident Evil 4 than Persona 5.
Be fair,
I
did he really
think he's
spoil it?
actually out loud said the words Persona 5 in this video.
I don't think he's out loud said any of the names in that fucking list there.
Has he said
We're the ones
Like-
doing all the fucking heavy lifting here. He's just like saying vagaries and letting the imagery do all the implication for us.
which
is-
in a lot of cases it's the wrong implication.
Exactly. Like, yeah, Ellie should have been raped. Dude,
Yeah,
if we were doing a Godelb, I would write that down. Like, Ellie should have
we don't
been
do
raped.
we don't do Gedelb, that's someone else.
Yeah, that's Mahler's shtick.
Really? 'Cause I thought Mahler quit those.
Yeah, he did.
Which is dumb. You shouldn't have.
Nah, he shouldn't have. But that's an open market. There's a power vacuum.
That's true. There's a power vacuum for Gedelb.
and tendencies may be laid out but are rarely delved into enough to flesh out the characters at hand. In extreme cases, the subject is merely touched upon before being brushed aside or made irrelevant to the offending party.
We've dealt on fucking Life is Strange more than we have Persona 5.
Yeah.
Only ever being relevant to the player, turning what should be
It's a video game. It's all relevant to the player. It all is. All of it. It should be relevant to the player. You're playing the game. These are characters in a game. I'm not here so that for every single member of the cast to wax poetic for 90 minutes in between rounds of me shooting things in the head.
Nah.
challenges towards a character.
Random Dune quotes at the end of every Call of Duty level is fucking dope. Like, what do you mean?
Oh yeah, I forgot about all the random Dune quotes at the end of every Call of Duty level. Why specifically Dune?
No, it's just because a lot of the lines in there are very poetic.
That's true.
It's historical though.
I guess the better example would have been like, no, I needed the game to be interrupted by the war quotes rather than, you know, be
I need the game to
death
be
stream.
interrupted by Plato
Yeah,
all the time.
Yeah, I'm in the middle. I'm in the
Instead
middle
of
of shooting
just-
shooting a guy, and then the game interrupts me and says, you know, a war doesn't determine who's right; it determines who's left. Instead of showing me that as I die and the game reloads the section I was in, show me that while I'm in the middle of shooting. Just interrupt me, please.
It's like Bioshock Infinite.
Character's psyche and principle into senseless arguments and more commonly situations of physical conflict that leaves their character mentally unscathed.
I like how
Don't
he's showing.
Show Ellie.
I like how he's showing Ellie looking very, like, somberly at a deer. And also, what do you mean pointless argument? The guy's mad that his daughter's smoking weed. Like, that's a perfectly normal reaction. Especially from someone that's very clearly as conservative and hardcore as he is. Like, fuck off. That's entirely reasonable.
The daughter who believes in controlling the gun.
And then it shoots her. Stupid gun!
I shot
Stupid
myself.
gun.
That game's so stupid.
The game sucks.
Frequently turning what should be small developments and moments of trauma into little more than wasted prospects as they revert back to the characters they were prior. Null
When does that happen in the When does that happen in The Last of Us?
Okay, so Joel does make Ellie feel better, yes, but we get like a minute of her being quote-unquote normal.
You know, if he kept cutting back to if that statement there would have been a perfect time to cut to Persona 5 footage, and he wasted the opportunity.
Amplifying the consequences of those stories and turning their labels into their identity rather than aspects of their person and development. This meaning there's never a chance for them or the player to reflect and grow from, possibly even losing the chance to solidify
Oh, spoilers for Nier
spoilers, look
Automata.
away, look away.
madness, leaving
Don't
them as flat
look.
personalities that
Why the fuck would you ever? Why the fuck would you ever cut to that without a warning?
Spoilers for Nier Automata, I guess, couldn't fit
What
it in the title.
Fuck is wrong with you?
But it's like 5 years old. That's you. That's you.
Just put a goddamn spoiler tag for. Don't show that. That game has nothing to do with a single one of your arguments.
Why did he do that?
Not a single thing you've said could be related back to Nier Automata. Nier Automata doesn't have kids in it. Nier Automata's characters constantly change and develop after every single thing that happens. Just because they fucking banter between missions doesn't mean they revert back to the. Fuck you, dude! Why would you show the biggest emotional crescendo for a character in a game's story while making an argument that has shit to do with the fucking game that you're cutting to? Fuck you! Actually, fuck you!
I think he might have gotten mad.
Like, I think for my next video, I think I'm just gonna randomly just put Arthur Morgan choking to death.
I don't give a shit about Red Dead, so go ahead. But
No, I do. Fuck you.
I do as well.
also spoilers for Red Dead 2, I guess.
Well, to be fair,
A lot.
the entire last third of the game, Arthur has tuberculosis.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, so he chokes to death a lot. It's really tragic. Like you
God
can't
damn.
even get him to max buffing through eating or drinking anything. It's really tragic.
Shit, you get
Yeah,
Doc
and
Holliday.
this whole time he's just trying to basically right his wrongs.
Yeah, because he's
Aw.
realizing that he's dying, so he's having to reevaluate everything that he's ever done.
Damn.
Yeah.
I can't believe my cool Western cowboy has tuberculosis.
Right? Fuck. Shit still hurts.
What do you mean you can't believe you watched Tombstone?
Oh no. Okay, without spoilers, Fetty, you should show the mountain scene.
Yeah, I made that joke already, Fetty. I
Oh.
said, "Oh, you get Doc
Oh, wait,
Holliday."
do you mean end of the line Dutch mountain scene or?
No. The sunrise.
Oh,
Just very specifically.
wait, that's
Just-
that's what I meant when I said choking to death.
Oh.
He doesn't choke to death multiple times. He chokes to death once. He coughs a lot, but that's not him dying.
I thought you were just being hyperbolic.
I think
No,
he's also
I
about.
mean literally the scene where he fucking coughs and dies.
Fuck.
I
Yeah,
think he's
spoilers
also
for Red
about
Dead
to-
2, by the way.
It's also spoilers for
everybody's
Persona
seen
5
that
because I'm
movie.
pretty sure he's about to cut
Biggest
to
meme
footage
on
from the
Earth.
final boss. What was that, Fetty?
I was just saying everybody's seen that scene at this point, anyways.
Yeah,
With
even
the-
I've seen that.
Sure, but like in the off chance someone hasn't.
Also, I'm pretty sure spoilers for Persona 5 because he's probably just gonna willy-nilly play footage from the final boss.
Yeah, because he's a
Fuck
Millie Willy.
this guy! Fuck this guy!
To meet their potential. Should arbitrary revelations or shifts in character or tone occur without proper warrant, and the writing fail to acknowledge and explore this by having them grow into and earn those shifts, all those changes
Fuck you, man. Fuck
Again,
you.
like,
Why are you
fucking-
showing the scene of Atreus losing his shit? And then like the scene that sets up his coughing, his sickness, like that is the scene that sets up the most of his development. The fuck you mean?
Watch, he's gonna cut to something from Zelda next.
can never remain as arbitrary and weight.
Wait, were you joking? Because I can see the frame of him fading.
The video is a half second ahead of yours for me. So yeah, I can see what's coming next.
wasted. When a character
What the heck? Hold on! Just watch this edit.
without proper warrant, and the writing fail to acknowledge and explore this by having them grow into and earn those shifts, all those changes can never remain as arbitrary and wasted. When a
We just show Zelda from Wind Waker for like
Oh
for,
my
like,
god, no, okay, I don't remember much of Wind Waker, but I'm pretty confident that change is not arbitrary or wasted.
No, not at all. I mean, Wind Waker doesn't have a sequel, but like, yeah, no, it's not. Nothing in Wind Waker is wasted. Wind Waker's fucking awesome. Wind Waker's in the fucking same like clubhouse that Ocarina and Majora's Mask are hanging out in. Okay,
Like,
the
top
game
tier.
is fucking great. Oh, dude, fucking up dog.
I remember, granted, I don't remember much of it, but I remember spending a lot of my time watching Chugga Conroy play it back in the day. Back when Let's Plays were like the thing. God, that
Hell
was
yeah,
fun.
yeah. But yeah, we cut to Zelda,
character,
and then we
protagonist,
just
or
cut
not,
away.
is given the time to grow and develop, they're capable of evolving into something great.
Again, stop showing the ending of games.
With Emil acting as one of the few rare exceptions.
Okay,
You can always
Um,
just like show an ambiguous scene so that the people who have viewed it know what you're talking about. Like that's what I like to do sometimes. Like
this motherfucker's about to talk to Emil. About to talk about Emil.
He's about to spoil one of the Nier games. This is the one before.
He's about to spoil another Nier game. Yeah, this is from Nier 1. This is
What is
from,
with
I
this
think it's
asshole? Spoilers for... Dude, you should probably
He hasn't
have a...
spoiled any of the games that are
that
in the
fucking
spoiler umbrella.
tag!
He's spoiling Nier and Resident Evil 4.
Dude, I don't care that much about spoilers normally, but like this is pissing me off. Like I'm out here like
Yeah, I
what?
only care about spoilers when it's like an underappreciated thing that that more people should experience. Like if he just cut to footage from season 4 of Mr. Robot, I would be fucking pissed. I would be fucking pissed if he cut to the ending of Breaking Bad. I wouldn't care because everybody's seen that, right, Trisket?
Yeah.
yeah, we're watching that.
We're watching fucking Breaking Bad.
Well,
Fetty and I both are gonna sit you down.
if
and
he
we're gonna
cut
go
to like a
through
random scene from season 4 of BSG, I wouldn't be upset. But if he cut to like one of the two specific reveals in season 4, I would be like, what the fuck, dude? Yeah.
Anyway, he's about to talk about Emil's entire arc, probably. Let's go.
To how children are handled in games. His status is not just an arbitrary decision, but it plays into his role of an unaging individual cursed to turn others to stone on sight, thus
Yep, there it is. Okay, fuck you.
stopping him from pursuing romantic relationships, only being worsened by melding with his sister, gaining him sight and power.
Stop saying everything! Fucking stop it! Oh my god, shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! You fucking weirdo!
Ellie should have been raped. I'm gonna put spoilers for games that I don't even fucking mention. But by the way, I'm gonna completely spoil games that I never mention and have nothing to do with the subject at hand. What the
Oh my
fuck
God.
is this video?
Oh my god, I'm so fucking angry right now. Jesus Christ, dude!
You see, like, I don't. I'm not invested in the Nier world, but like even I'm
You
getting upset
should be.
here. Like I'm seeing how many things are being spoiled and all that, and I'm just like, damn, dude, maybe you should like chill a little. Maybe you should like put up a card that says spoilers so that people can prepare. Like, fucking hell.
The cost of his humanity and only coping by finding a family in Vice, Kaine, and Nier, even as he learns the true nature of the shades he's been killing.
Shut up! Jesus,
I
even I'm sitting
swear-
here like, fucking stop!
I swear to God,
you
I thought
already
he was
sold
just
me on
gonna
the
go ahead and
story.
say
Shut the
it.
fuck up!
I swear to God, I thought he was gonna fucking just go ahead and say it, like what the fucking answer to Emil's mystery is. But it looks like he's not going to do that.
Watch, he says it in the next sentence.
Eventually revealing his own self-loathing to his friends in the game's final dungeon before exploiting the power given to him by the source of his trauma
Oh
to
my
save his
God!
I was kidding! I was fucking kidding!
No!
I was fucking kidding, man! Oh, I feel bad for you, man.
Um,
What the fuck? Why would you fucking say? Why would you? Okay, I'm not even
God.
like. It's literally all you had to do was just put the title of the fucking game in the spoiler. What? Are you fucking retarded? What is? Oh my! Oh my god!
I think he's just having a meltdown.
I'm losing my shit. I am losing my shit over this fucking idiot. This fucking moron. This stupid, goddamn, senseless cunt is.
Dude, I'm crying. I'm fucking crying right now. Actually, I'm actually crying. Oh,
Barely anybody has fucking played this amazing game. You idiotic fucking.
hey, that's my word.
I'm taking it.
Jesus.
Fuck you.
Jesus. Oh, this is gonna be a hell of an episode to edit. Fuck. Oh.
friends from danger, solidifying his growth and development into his power and character at the cost of making himself a sacrifice through the only selfish action he makes throughout the game's duration. So when reflecting
Jesus, even I'm getting a little mad now. Like, what
So
the
they
fuck?
only have
Shut
so
up.
they only have depth if they die. Is that what the whole like? Fuck off.
So yeah, he's saying Ellie should have been raped. Like,
Reflecting on how
This
children are
is really
handled in
fucked.
games, I can only think of their overabundant misuse as props and their stark contrast to the kids in film and television. One
as opposed to television is the worst example. Well, maybe not television, but like film. Like film. Oh god, there's so many blatant fucking examples that fit exactly what he's describing when he's talking about children being used as props. It is overwhelmingly in film where that happens. Yes, film explores childhood trauma more often than video games do, but so much more often children just exist to be sympathetic props. Fuck off.
Okay, I gotta read the fucking. Okay, I went and found the video proper on YouTube, and I opened up the description, and I'm gonna read. He put an extended spoiler warning in the description of
Instead
the
of in the video.
Would you like me to read it for you?
Yeah, okay.
Spoiler warning for God of War, Persona 5, Nier, Life is Strange, Leon the Professional, Lord of the Flies, Watch Dogs, etc. Meaning there's hey, guess what? There's shit that I spoil in this video. Good luck figuring out what it is, bitch.
Is Leon the Professional in that?
Yeah, Leon the
Oh,
Professional.
okay.
Sandwiched between Life is Strange and Lord of the Flies for some reason.
But he doesn't
hasn't
talk
talked-
about those.
He hasn't talked about Lord of the Flies. He showed
showed a
a clip
clip of
from
it.
it early on, and it's not even a clip that spoils anything if you have no idea what that story is about.
Yeah.
In fact, I had to point out that it was Lord of the Flies because there's no way you would have guessed that if you hadn't seen it or read the book already.
Well, I'm familiar with both the book and I've seen that movie, so like, I knew instantly. Oh, that's Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, well, you've seen it though. Like, Anybody who hasn't seen it would just see that clip devoid of context and go, "Oh, I wonder where that's from."
It's a bunch of boys prancing around a fire stabbing a pig. If you have experienced only the book, you could assume that.
Yeah. But yeah, so fuck you for including your full spoiler list in the description and not at the start of the video.
It's not even a
maybe?
full
Like
spoiler
fucking
list.
person. And also not a full spoiler list because you put fucking etc.
Is Metal Gear Solid
Nope.
4 in there?
3 is the one that he spoiled the ending of.
Whatever. Okay, but is that in the fucking thing though?
Nope.
Okay, so he's gonna spoil the end to a game, but not put it in his list as under. He's gonna put that under etc. But a movie that he shows like 4 seconds from, yeah, that's worth putting a spoiler tag on. Fuck you. I'm gonna put a spoiler tag at the beginning of this episode that talks about everything that gets spoiled here, or at least meaningfully.
Yeah, make sure you put a near spoiler tag at least, because fuck this.
Oh, there's a glitch on Discord that's happening right now that's making it look like I have a dead pixel.
Oh no.
That's weird.
That's very strange.
And
Also,
it's gone.
Fetty died.
Yeah. Oh, and it's back.
And Fetty died.
Yeah. Fuck, that's annoying.
He's gone. He's gone. Fetty's gone.
He got,
Anyway, let's...
he got Fetty fucked up.
Oh no!
Shaped by their world and lives that made them transcend past their contemporaries. The children of Pan's Labyrinth, Devil's Backbone, Nier, and Leon weren't kids for the sake of being kids. They had purpose and were coping with their worlds and identity.
Oh, you mean like Kratos' son? Or
And
maybe
Ellie.
the surrogate daughter for Joel.
Even Clementine a little bit.
Yeah, surrogate daughter.
Yeah.
But to be fair, that's one of the good examples.
Yeah, we can't use those.
Yeah.
Exploring what it meant to be a child, discovering new emotions, dealing with trauma,
Oh, you mean like Atreus?
Yeah, fuck it.
dealing with their families, maturing at a young age, and ultimately leaving us as new individuals. They were damaged,
Atreus.
but they were all the more beautiful for it.
Like Atreus.
Oh, conclusion.
Don't you fucking sully.
In
conclusion,
in
Call of
conclusion,
Duty.
please allow me to explain the entire plot of fucking Death Note.
But dude, it's dude, I'm actually mad that he's using Devilman Crybaby music right now.
Oh, yeah, okay.
No,
Yeah,
because
sure.
like
Years ago, the most popular genre was the shooter, not for its fun factor, but because it was what the consensus deemed mature due to their realistic and bloody nature.
that is true enough. But you hear the music though, right?
Yeah, I hear the music.
Yeah, I'm mad.
Operating under the false pretenses of maturity. Today, most mature games operate under the guise of being cinematic and deep emotional stories with profound and nuanced characters, despite the poor writing and trappings that consume them. When
Did this motherfucker study the Synthetic Man school of thought? Like,
I don't know who that is.
that's actually a really good EFAP. They covered Synthetic Man's criticisms of God of War Ragnarok. He was actively ignoring the game, and then he was criticizing the game for not having a good story. It's like, but